Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
From the beginning of time, humans have always looked towards the sky for inspiration and guidance. There has been a fascination with birds, stars, gods, goddesses, and other entities which seem to exist above us, and for many humans, a strong yearning to travel into space. Man has dreamt of flight since observing space, and now it is time to become the space traveller. The future of space travel requires us to understand from where we came, to see where we are going.
Several thousand years ago, philosophers Mozi and Lu Ban from China were looking to the wind for flight. They invented kites using silk and bamboo, allowing for the later development of communication, measuring distances, testing the wind, and lifting men.
The invention of the kite brought with it the desire to fly. The first known attempts at flight were typically by leaping off towers, known as tower jumping. People in China, India, and Europe first attempted flight this way.
In 1670, Francesco Lana de Tarzi published a book that showed some interesting concepts. The concept of copper foil in a sphere with a vacuum would produce a vacuum airship. This is still not possible with today's materials. Francesco is recognized as the father of aeronautics, melding science and mathematics into aerial navigation.
The Chinese are believed to have developed the first hot air device. The Chinese lantern, using hot air from a candle, can take flight and was first used for signalling. The hot air balloon achieved the first human lift and advanced to what we know of as the Zeppelin.
The first attempts at flight in a heavier-than-air flying machine were made by more than just the Wright brothers. Most attempts failed, however, they were the stepping stones for what was to come later. The oldest airport, College Park, is still in operation today.
Airplanes evolved rapidly through the century, from propeller to helicopter to jet aircraft, and most of that technology is used today.
During the Second World War, Germany developed rockets that could go a limited distance. The basic rocket technology used then is still used today. The space race started with the Soviet Union and the USA in 1957 and led to many developments for the next step, the moon.
The spacecraft assigned as Apollo 11 was the first spacecraft to have landed on the moon. The space shuttle operated at tremendous cost. Burning the fuel proved to be wasteful and dangerous technology. The International Space Station, ISS, is a habitable artificial satellite that was assembled in low Earth orbit in 1998 with the use of the Space Shuttle, the ISS can often be seen with the naked eye from Earth.
SpaceX, as a private aerospace producer and space transportation services company, was founded in 2002 by Elon Musk with the goal of reducing space transportation costs and enabling the colonization of Mars. SpaceX reuses the first stage of their primary rocket, Falcon 9, by vertical propulsive landings. Although, up to present time, it still uses the rocket fuel burning technology. Mehran Keshe has always said, the time for burning fuels is over, but did we need to start with that technology in the first place?
Ancient cultures have suggested the use of an alternative means of transportation. With reference to possible plasma technology,
you can go to New York from Brussels within 2 to 5 minutes. And most of this 5 minutes is actually landing and getting up.
Mehran Tavakoli Keshe was born in Iran in 1958. As the son of an X-ray engineer, he was introduced to the world of radiation and nuclear science at a very young age. In 1981, he graduated from Queen Mary, the University of London, as a nuclear engineer specialized in reactor technology system control. At that time, he developed a number of theoretical ideas related to more simple nuclear concepts and their applications. In 2002, he decided to finish the full design of his ideas about nuclear technology. This included the creation and control of gravity and energy by the use of nuclear materials in a clean and safe hydrogen reactor. Mehran Keshe introduced the concept of double magnetic fields to explain the magnetic and gravitational field of Earth.
Unknown by the existing scientific community, he wrote a number of scientific papers in 2004 and sent them for peer review, such as the creation of black holes. When one of the persons performing the peer review used his information in public, he decided to draw back his papers and to concentrate further on building prototypes.
Since the beginning of 2006, several prototypes of dynamic reactors have been built, some specifically designed to create hovering effects, similar to effects seen with magnetic levitation. Basic hovering effects have been achieved. 2007 brought the first flight test with radioactive material, in which the patents describe the process of the field interactions.
The main patent, Gravitational and Energy System, described the initial fundamental aspects of the plasma and uses. This was followed by the supplemental patent, Microplasma Reactors, where further uses and advancements were described. Mr. Keshe found himself in Iran in 2008 and was provided all the resources needed to create the first lift of a plasma reactor managed by the Iranian government. These special rotating gas reactors were used to control the plasma. To bring a deeper understanding, Mr. Keshe released the first book in 2009, patent, The Universal Plasma Reactor of Creation of Matters, further use, which contained many new concepts released to the public. This included the PMTIC plasma magnetic fields, initial fundamental plasma and plasma dilution technology used for space reactors. The plasma technology was further developed and it manifested in weight fluctuation in a controlled environment. 2010 introduced a new state of matter called GANS, an acronym for gas in nanosolid state. The GANS produces fields to be used in the operation of the spaceship. Advanced flight tests were performed in Iran with the guidance of Mr. Keshe and the newly designed systems.
Mr. Keshe tells us you can't bring all the doctors with you in space. Medical research advanced in 2010 and is still being explored daily all around the world. The Keshe Foundation has provided knowledge for dealing with many medical conditions in space.
A great example of plasma technology used for peaceful process is the capturing of the USA drone over Iran in December 2011. This drone was touted as one of the most advanced drones of its day and was caught by Iran using plasma to disrupt the communications. Plasma absorbs fields and the drone uses radio fields for piloting. a natural aspect of the plasma, a barrier of fields.
Book 2, The Structure of the Light, was released in 2011. This book brought forward the understanding of the structure of light as a cylindrical plasma where the light is in possession of all magnetic field strengths. Book 3, The Origin of the Universe, was published later in 2011. Mr. Keshe explained the further operation and interaction of different strengths of the same fields, which then leads to the creation of the universe. These 3 books bring forward a much deeper understanding of the plasma science that is applied worldwide by knowledge seekers and scientists in spaceship research and development.
There were 2 conferences to release the space technology to governments in 2012. The first international presentation in April, Keshe Foundation invited representatives of every country to the first presentation of the plasma technology. The second international presentation in September, Keshe Foundation invited the nations of the world through their ambassadors and their leaders to attend a gathering at the Keshe Foundation Centre in Nenove, Belgium.
Space travel requires peace. The implementation of the plasma technology brings greater responsibility. In 2013, Mr. Keshe brought forward the World Peace Treaty. Signing of the Peace Treaty is a confirmation from yourself to your soul to act correctly in a peaceful manner.
In 2014, knowledge seekers came together from around the world to learn from Mr. Keshe, and many different experiments with reactors were performed, including improving the previously developed reactors to fit with the new knowledge, introduction of nano-coated reactors, multi-core GaN systems. The Spaceship Institute lab experiments were streamed live on the internet for all to see. SSI lab tests with reactors showed strong magnetic field pulses up to 129 Tesla and showed significant weight fluctuations. In December, an experiment was performed using reactors built by knowledge seekers from around the world. Italy, Germany, and Canada were involved in field communication tests. The test showed that fields can interact with each other no matter the distance or time, resulting in instant communication.
In 2015, developments for space continued with different aspects of the plasma technology, such as in health, energy, and decontamination. In October of 2015, Mr. Keshe taught a popular week-long course called the Blueprint Teachings about how to build the MAGRAV power units. People from all over the world participated with building their own MAGRAV units and teaching others. With the demand of the Keshe Foundation products from all over the world, a new research center and manufacturing opened in Arizona, USA. Many developments of the technology happened in different parts of the world, and Keshe Foundation USA is no exception. John and the team started performing experiments using different sensing tools. These tools allowed the team to visualize the MAGRAV fields and to show others their interactions. With reactor formations showing positive results, partaking in the knowledge together is easier and more joyful than ever. The fun has just begun, says MT Keshe.
Mr. Keshe publicly teaches the space technology through the weekly Knowledge Seekers workshops. Plasma enthusiasts from around the world participate in gathering the knowledge and putting the puzzle together in the space race. All people, irrespective of race, nation or religion, are invited to participate in the exchange of knowledge, thus assisting humanity to live within the ethos of the universe. It is recognized that international cooperation and peace is a prerequisite for mankind to journey into deep space. Individuals and nations are invited to come together in the spirit of collaboration and unity to enable peaceful application and the use of plasma technology for space travel, food, agriculture, energy, transportation, health and more. We are excited to release the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Blueprint to humanity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Space Travel Simulation Testimonials program for Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. This is a broadcast from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. And this is a very special show, which Mr. Keshe has ordered up, and I'm going to turn it over to him. I think he's pretty excited, so let's see what the story is. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual. Wherever and whenever you listen to this series of long sequence of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute from around the world, most from around the universe now, we called this meeting or this broadcast or this sharing of the knowledge not to coincide with our Thursday teaching, but separate. I know many of you and a large number of organizations around the world were waiting to see if Keshe Foundation actually does what it says on the 6th of June. We had some delays, but principally on the 6th of June, western coast of United States time, we took the first test flight. We covered ourselves with the knowledge and what we had. And as we went through a full day of test on the 7th of June, we took some 15 passengers with us through this experience. As we said, if you're going to clean up the mess the man has made before, it's going to take a long time, another 1,000 years to clean up the CO2, and then another so many years to get man to do a replication of the UFOs, because the rocket propulsion is not there. So we decided that everything is going to go from now on a step up through the new technology. It's for the people to catch up and to understand and change what we call technology. To this effect, we stopped the whole process of creating CO2 centers, capturing. We still open centers for production of gases, but not the extent we were going to open massive number of CO2s, because we brought the technology forward, the same as we done with the space. We had a choice, as you can see, to deliver the systems. Rick, can you put the picture up, please, which we sent you? And in that process, we decided we go a step up. We're not going to go through the spaceship and the rest of it. We go directly to the spaceship of the man, the soul of the man, and we put man through the experience, and we build up on this experience, and we gradually build it up. What you see on the screen is the two enhancement units, and this is the soap of the Keshe Foundation TV studio. You will see next to the units on the left, there is a flight room. People go through the flight test, and if they want, and if they wish, they go and they join the software and the team. They record live their experiences a few minutes after they come out. We let them pass on in the next few 2 or 3 weeks. Then we get in touch with them again, or we already have invited a couple of them back in a couple of weeks. And we have invited one of them back this Friday again because of what has come about. The flight system is, and will not be shown, this is a new flight system, and we set it up in a way that you do not need to fly a machine to go somewhere. You go through the structure of the expansion of the soul, extending the soul of the man across the universe. You go to soul of the mom and dad who passed away years ago, or you go to see your brother in New York, or you go to see your sister in Tehran. Either way, we do not need to be boarding a ship, boarding a taxi, boarding a plane. Now that we have come to understand the totality of the knowledge of the creation,
That's the man's way. This is the Creator's way. We brought in, we built systems, and we tested the first system yesterday. We started around about 8 o'clock in the morning. We finished around about 6:30, 7 o'clock last night. We tried to give as much possible time for people to taste the process, to taste the situation, to understand it, and to comprehend it. Everybody signs an NDA. You have a dossier of documents to sign before you go through the test. And one person refused to, that the Keshe Foundation has to accept their liabilities if anything happens to me. We gave refunding, and we leave it to go. Because we are here as testing as all of us, civilization. We know we had the representative of NASA today here with us. We have asked them, we know they're online. We know the Iranian leadership is online, Sepah and the Iran military space people, because now we have seen one of the leading Iran space nuclear physicists was assassinated by the Israelis in past 72 hours. Now they've gone for the head of the snake, as they call. And now we see being a scientist of a space is a criminal offense by the state of Israel, by the Americans, and those who stay around it. Being a space scientist, we invite you to join us as your system has become obsolete, as we've seen as of yesterday. We're going to develop this technology further and further. We're going to develop this technology to the limit of every man's capability. The condition of the people going through the system is very simple. We don't want to know why you are here. You don't explain to the taxi driver why you're going to the airport. Are you going to be a passenger? You don't explain to the pilot, the plane lands, I'm going for a dinner or a funeral. Our job is to create the condition, facilitate you to achieve your goals, to see how far you are. Sometimes you don't get on the right number bus or you get on the wrong plane. We have to find out why this happened and make sure that we put you on the right direction, the right plane. We put 15 people through the process yesterday. Some of the people did not come for flight. Flight was not important to them. A lady wanted to see her daughter. A person had another target. Few people came in for another target, but being in the flight room, they decided to join us and take the steps further if they wanted to. We had one of our leading knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation as one of the first people going through. Then we had a brother and sister going through. Then we had a boyfriend and a girlfriend going through long term with each other, 7 years. Then we had a mother, and then we had the father of the girl. Mother and daughter are shamans, which means they are very much into the soul travel. The same son. Then we had another couple. Then we had another couple. Then we had another couple. Then we had one lonely man from Romania who came all the way to be the passenger. Some of the people got what they wanted. Some of the people didn't know what they got, but they got what they received, because that was the decision of the soul, not the intention of the man. But we listen and we respect. We don't tell you what is wrong, what you did right, what was it. I stay in the control room most of the time in trying to create cohesive action between the people and the environment. And we try to see and test the structure. What happens with our systems? We get saturation. Yesterday we got to saturation by afternoon. And then we had to allow the soul to take over the system. It was a beautiful experience. Our people, as they came in and went out to see, to monitor how the systems go, They could feel the buildup of the fields. People inside with me, they could feel the pressures of the magnetic fields and everything else as we build up. The test went step by step. Some people stayed up to an hour and a half in the system. We do not push unless we come in the time bracket. We allowed everybody to take their time as much as we could. And then we allowed for the process to go. And when they came out, we asked them questions. How was it, what it was, and tried to find out about the trims and what the event is like when somebody come tell us where you were, what you did, and any souvenirs. And then those who wanted to be recorded, they've been recorded in this studio, in these chairs, the sofas, and we have about 6, 7 of them for you. In this process, you see wife, then you see the daughter and the mother, the shamans, then you see what we call one of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers from Romania. Many of you know him. He wanted to be there and he came last. We couldn't give him much time because the center closes. Then we had at the beginning a brother and sister from Holland. And it's amazing what you see, what you feel. And don't forget, you don't become a pilot just because you sit behind a pilot chair the first time. We allowed the brother and sister to interact between each other. And it's amazing when you hear them. Later on, they'll come live online. They're traveling back to Holland after the experience. We brought, while the brother and sister in the room, we brought the couple. First the boy, then the shaman. And as the brother and sister moved out, we brought the father and mother of the lady. So it was a family business. In these processes, we asked them every now and then, we would like you to take a flight if you want to go. Some of them wanted to go, some of them didn't want to go. And then they experienced the experiences. They have a visual, vivid explanation of being on the moon. They have a visual explanation of they didn't want to go to the moon. They went somewhere else and they could see half of their body to be human and the other half not. And then other things. And we see explanation of people just wanting to fly, just to be in space, to experience the love of the Creator, which means the purity of love. And we have people who come in for different reasons. We never asked, but in the questionnaire they've written why. And we have seen they found different solutions. A lady tells us what she could not solve with a family, mother and father and brother, she managed to sort out because she wasn't present. We've seen this before. To us was normal because we knew what's going to happen. So what is going to happen from now on? We do not need to go to God knows where to take your flight. At the moment, the structure is set in a very specific way, and it will be extended and elaborated more in the coming days and weeks. This is what we call the flight. You enter through the door here. The system has set here, and a system has set here. The system is covered, it's not used. For yesterday's session, we concentrated on one system. Because we know by the technology and the knowledge we have, once this comes in, we will lead to massive increase of the fields. We expect to see shimmer, or we see shimmer in this direction. When you enter the room, you will see something very, very clear. They will talk about chair 1, chair 2, chair 3. There are 3 vision-like enhancement units are set on each side. We have placed other units around to balance the fields in the building. They come in, we call it seat number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure many of you coming in will go through this. You sit, this is the physicality. This is the soul of physicality, and this is the soul of man. You go through the process of 1, 2, 3. You enter the system, you take your time, and then you exit the system back on 3, 2, 1, and you go out. We have different combinations. Sometimes we put people on the 2 on this side, on the 1 on that side, and different combinations. Because the systems we have to understand has to be diverse. In 2 occasions, we allowed what we call 2 passengers in this. The first time we had a captain was husband and wife. Then we had another captain with 4 people in the room, where she was dictating the condition. The reason for this is, in the later dates, the whole area of this room will become Spaceship, Space Center. We have facilities that, if you look at it, these are the 2 units above you to test the satellite system, which means we will not need any more structures on the body. We can control the room. This is to be coming in once we data collect. In a very straightforward way, we just sit and watch what these people go to. They cry from joy. They have tears of achieving whatever the target was, or reaching to the point they never expected, and more or less, they're all coming back, one way or another, to test more. Because we know the next step for the people who come back will be the eventual detachment and travel in deep space. You have to let go. As in one of the interviews you hear, my thought was taking over, so I had to let go and stick to what I was doing. It is not that you travel in a dream. You are fully aware of your physicality because we talk to you. We ask you to move chairs whenever, or we see something, we ask you to join us. So it's not that you're in a condition of a trance or anything. You're fully aware of your physicality. One of the ladies speaks about clearly the expansion of the soul, that it was enveloping her, that her soul was overtaking the dimension. And we see, we hear a lot. Then when you come out, when you tell us, we are interested to know, you write down everything, and that becomes the property of the Keshe Foundation for all of us in the future to know what happened. We put friends in, we put family, we put families in, we put stranger with the families, we put lovers, we put brothers and sisters, and I'm sure many, many people will come in. We have people who came in without telling us, being blind, and we have seen the tears coming from the eye, which has not teared for 4 years due to stroke, being blinded. We have seen people who come with different impression of it. We are a flight system. The man said, I came here with a wish to gain my sight back. I didn't come here to fly. I came here to expand my soul. Another lady with another dimension. We have 2 people who we asked them to come back after they have processed what's happened to them in a couple of weeks to take another journey. This is not anymore getting into the car. This is how we get into universe. Now, the universe is our aircraft. Now, the span of the fields and use of the fields of the universe is where we are going to. Yesterday, I was touched by some of our knowledge seekers. One of our knowledge seekers went in, and he went through emotion step by step. Then he came back out. I said, what was your wish? What was why you came here? He came here, he said, to gain the knowledge of the universe. I said to him, you have not understood the process of creation through Keshe Foundation. You are not here to take, you are here to give as a lover. You came here to get knowledge without understanding. You thought you go through the door to the system and you come out as Einstein. It will not happen. And secondly, if that's been your wish, it's not going to happen today. You will see in the progress of time new knowledge. You see new changes in your knowledge, understanding, and the rest of it. We got to understand there is no gaining in the process of the creation. It's all giving. And if you go in with that wish, you'll come out miserably failed, and there is something wrong with our system. Technology doesn't work. But in fact, technology works very well because you cannot steal from it. You cannot take. We saw a couple where the husband came in for just to experience how he can take things, because he took it from the partner, but the partner never realized it. And in the process of the flight, the partner explains, I asked, he refused, and it was very clear. We see the soul interaction when they come out. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of number of people. We're going to get a lot of what I call people who just come in for the fun of it, and a lot of people come in sincerely to go through it. The shaman lady told us that the experience is different. It's not a shaman, she's a very active, the one who plays the music, what will get you to the state. And she says, this is not what we do. And it's a very different. It's very realistic. And does not need time. I control it. And we've gone through this process. We had the first day. Our team are back in today and tomorrow. We see adjustment needed, things to be done. And then again, on Friday, we bring back a process, most probably both systems working together. Then we want to see if you put 4 passengers, 2 on each, how do they interact? Do they hear each other? We heard from the people that they hear noises, but it's nothing to do with them. They are in their own capsule, they're in their own structure. Everything is phased out. They're only interested in the travel of the soul. I'm going to show you the video of one of the first, what we call, ladies who went into the system as a couple. And it's interesting to listen to. Don't look at the words. Look at the emotions behind the word. Look at the energies. Look at what is and how it is. Yesterday, standing here and listening to some of the knowledge seekers going through, it was very interesting that we have conflicts, we have misunderstanding, we have all sorts of things between the couples. Would we be able to put 2 of the world leaders, one in the front and one in the back, and let them souls to solve the problems they have? And then the physicality has to follow. souls achieve balance in a very fast way. I opened this room from what I've seen yesterday in a very short time, and I invite world leaders to go through it. We'll invite the ambassadors, and we invite the world scientists. We invite the world leaders to come in and sit and see why they cannot find a solution in the physical dimension with each other. We invite the members of the world nation to come in and see. I think in the next, maybe very near time, we can put chairs in this room and make it a room of peace, where the world leaders come and sit and they don't talk. And let the souls find a balance for humanity. And we see them coming in as enemies. And when they leave, they hug each other as brothers. We are now going to United Nations to show we create a new nation to be at peace. When I'm in the room with the knowledge seekers, I'm aware of all the activities of their souls. I see how they juggle around. I see how they look indifferent during the process, and when they come out, they're full of joy. You see them going through the tears and coming out with totally different dimension and direction. You got to realize this is a process that we have to learn to become a pilot. It's a process that we have to learn to become a passenger of the universe. Man has been too physical. And as one guy said, I wanted to feel something. I wanted to be what I wanted to get. And I said, okay, you haven't understood. I think it's about the work of your saying. I would like to ask, you have to understand the people who come, they sign, we have the full right to these. These are proprietary rights. You cannot download these and play them. And go through the process and listen to them, elaborate on them. And then, if they are online, they come in. The two brothers and sisters from Holland will be played last because they said they're in the car and traveling. Let's see how we can do. And while they were recording, part of the recording's voice has gone because of whatever problem is. So we play part of it and then they can add to it. Can I ask in the background if we can share the video of the first person, please? We would like to see the process. We would like to see that the process starts with its own cycle, with its own process, and just listen to the lady.
Hello, I'm Anna. I live close to Salzburg. Before I came here, my goal was to meet my family, my real family, my home, which I don't know where it is, of course. And I wanted to find my purpose or why I'm here for in this life, because I still don't know, or I'm not sure. I've got a glimpse, but I don't know. And well, when I went into the first chair, let's say chair, there was energy coming from upwards into my head, and it flew into my hands, and yeah, there was a period of just flowing energy. then it went into my stomach, and I felt like as if something was sorting inside my belly. Something was coming to peace. Then there was energy from upwards again. And then it went into my heart, and it was just peaceful. Okay, then there were some more physical experiences, but nothing special. Just a little bit of energy here and there, and some sensations. I don't know if it was in the second chair or in the third chair. They were less intense than the first one, but a symbol. No, excuse me, that's wrong. Well, I don't know. Maybe I mix it up. It doesn't matter. A symbol was coming into my mind. I've seen it before, but it was centered in my heart. It's a symbol made out of eight lying. How would you call it? Endless? Or eternity. It's eternity. Yeah, standing and lying and in different dimensions. And when it came together, then it started rotating, and the rotation created a tunnel of light or a column of light, maybe. And yeah, this was like the start for something. And I forgot to mention something else. When I was sitting in the first chair, there was a kind of a flash in my right eye, and I know that this is when I go to bed. This flash always comes, and it feels like a welcome from home. A warm welcome. Then I know, okay, I'm on the right place right now. And it always was at the beginning and then at the end of the session in the chair. I had that flash, that signal, kind of. Okay. I think I'm through with the 3 chairs because this was quite yeah, some more physical sensations, but quiet. Yeah. When I went into the real system, I was a little irritated because Mr. Keshe went out, and I didn't know if my journey had already started or not. And as he didn't come back, I thought I might as well start my journey myself. And when I went into that, I came to a place which felt like home. It was a beautiful forest. There was a wonderful fragrance and a lot of different flowers and colors and lights and glittering and whatever. Yeah, it is. And I couldn't really see the beings living there, but I felt them. And they surrounded me, and I felt very welcome, and it was like as if they had arranged a party for me, or or kind of festival. I don't and Fest in German. Okay. And I was brought into a very beautiful chamber, or I don't know I don't know how to express it. It was up above in the trees. And maybe I was expected to sleep there. I don't. I can't remember.
Did you have a physical form?
I'm not sure, but I guess yes. And I felt very light and very light and very easy. Okay. And there were moments when my mind wanted to interfere, and but I think I could rest it and go back to my heart, so the journey could go on.
And this is when you relaxed and you let go?
I'm not sure if I really relaxed. Yes, I did. But my mind was still interfering many times. Yeah, and then my husband was brought into the system. He was sitting in my back, and I was the captain. I was told to be the captain and to go on a journey with him as my passenger. And
Did you sense him? Did you feel his soul with you?
no, not really. Not really. I think. I'm not sure if I can distinguish between our journey as the two of us, and we did another journey with a second couple, friends of ours. No, I don't really know if it was one journey or if it was two journeys. I'm sorry. Well, but I was told by Mr. Keshe to go on a journey and to take them with me, and I went. We went on to Venus, and I really liked it there because it was a nice place. We were welcome, and there were a lot of flowers and a lot of light, and we could turn into whatever we wanted. And I could fly. I was a butterfly, and the others could as well, as far I sensed them. I couldn't see them, I just sensed them. And we had a nice time there, just flying around and enjoying ourselves and the beings living there. And then I tried to bring them onto Jupiter, but I felt it was wrong. So we just made a little stopover, and then we went on to the sun. And there it was when I really felt there was so much love, pure love, and we just melted into this love. We were filled up with this love. And from there we went into something I know from other journeys. I was in a kind of my own bubble, like, what do you call it, soap bubbles?
Soap bubbles, yeah.
Soap bubbles? Soap bubbles, yeah. And we all had our own soap bubble, and I always feel very, very, really safe and secure, and that's where I really am. I am what I am. I am who I am in there. And the soap bubbles are kind of connected, but still free. And if I wanted to, I could move with my bubble wherever I want to go. And yeah, and then I felt we were done, just done. Yeah, and then we landed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Your intentions before you went into the unit, did you have any?
Yes, I wanted to meet my family, to see my real home, and I think all the elves, they were my family. I was a little bit irritated because they were not human. But still, it was okay. And I had the intention to know about my purpose in life and why I'm here. I don't know that by now, but I had, in one of the chairs, I had the impression that the box where this secret is in was unlocked. It has not opened yet, but it's unlocked in a way. I hope so. Thank you. Dankeschön.
Thank you very much. Now you can see when we tell you you're the captain, you decide. It's not in a dream, you're not in a drug, you haven't been done anything to. It's you who decides. And the very interesting part of bits of this when we listen, when we ask her about her husband, she says, I can't remember. I didn't see him. But later on, when it's the four of them, she says, they were together as a four. There were two couples known each other, and they went through the system together. System one is some people don't feel anything when they go in it because it's to balance the fields of the physical body of the man. Some people, when they go through it and they feel emotions of it or whatever, is when your physical side is balancing itself, preparing to become a passenger of universe. The second is for the soul of physicality, the energies which hold these bits of physical part together. And when it balances, people don't want to sit. And then the third seat is a collection of the fields of the all of the cells. We call this whole control system. And whenever we talk to people, they go into the system and then they go back to chair number 3 and come out. They talk about the intensity be much less, because now you have fulfilled part of the dream. Is what I call not a homeless. You have found peace with it. And the people who come for the second, third, and the fourth journeys, when they come, we see how they progress compared to the first. We're preparing humanity for the journey into deep space, where there is no cars. As she told you, she went to Mars, didn't want to be in Jupiter. She decided to go to the source, to the sun. We don't hear her burning, and we hear the fulfillment of the love, the giving, the knowledge received, the love which is received, given. She didn't ask for it. And this is the beauty of this system. And this is the first time, I'm sure, we're going to bring a number of knowledge seekers in to monitor this. I'm not going to be there all the time. We are there to see the perfection in the systems, and we are there to see the next step. And somebody told to me yesterday, you're a liar. We never lied. You live the life all your life. We go through the facts, the structure, and what it is. And now it's you who decides this process. It's you who takes control. We try to not to force people to speak English, because I don't know about German this session. We let Germans to speak. And we look at the next video. The lady is a shaman. She knows the travel of souls the way you know how it's done. We were not expecting much from her because she's an expert in soul travel. And what she told us when she came out, it was beautiful, not shocking, but beautiful. And what we heard, what we saw, is an amazing step in development of people who are aware of their souls. And this gives us people who can take much faster to the next step and next slide. Would you like to play the second video, please? This is the lady, she speaks German. I hope our German translators can come online and translate for us. Can we have the sound, please?
Weil meine Seele wirklich am besten weiß, was für mich gerade ansteht und wichtig ist. Und
yeah, we can't hear the sound. It's too low, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, it was recorded very low with this one. Can you extend? Can they increase it on the bass?
Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, da ist schon wesentlich mehr passiert. Da waren auch Emotionen, also ich hatte auch Tränen in den Augen. Da ist sehr viel ja, im Inneren passiert, wo ich gemerkt habe, da hat sich auch was gelöst. Und
Hello. I have to explain to you the noise she stops. We are under like a rocket propulsion base, and we have sun caps, or we call air gaps on the top. They automatically open and close. 6 of them that make this noise. So it literally buries the voice in the background. But this lady was told from the beginning, it's a very soft speaker. We'll have a problem to hear it, but It's good to hear it. Can you replay the game, please, from the beginning? And try to go to the maximum voice. Hello. We have a problem. Is there a problem with this video again?
Well, it hasn't started yet. There might be a glitch on the computer or something too, or perhaps they're adjusting the sound in the background.
Yep. Let's see. It was an amazing experience talking to this lady after she came out, knowing her expertise. Can you replay the video again?
Ja, mein Intent heute war, als ich in die Unit gegangen bin, wirklich meiner Seele die Führung zu überlassen. Weil meine Seele wirklich am besten weiß, was für mich gerade ansteht und wichtig ist. Und ja, auf dem ersten Stuhl, wo ich gesessen bin, war es wirklich relativ normal vom Gefühl. Ich habe ein bisschen die Energien gespürt, dass sich ein bisschen was ausgeglichen hat, aber es war noch relativ normal einfach vom Gefühl. Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, da ist schon wesentlich mehr passiert. Da waren auch Emotionen, also ich hatte auch Tränen in den Augen. Da ist sehr viel im Inneren passiert, wo ich gemerkt habe, da hat sich auch was gelöst. Und hört man überhaupt noch? Okay. Und als ich dann auf den dritten Stuhl gewechselt bin, war einfach wie eine Reise, die schon angefangen hat. Und ich bin in die Erde hineingegangen. Das war aber nur ein ganz kurzer Moment. Und dann sind wir auf die andere Seite und dann hat es nochmal begonnen. Und als ich dann mit meinem Partner zusammen auf der Reise war, war es wirklich eine ganz wunderschöne Erfahrung, weil wir im All waren. Wir konnten beide fliegen und sind wirklich durch die ganzen Planeten und die Sterne. Und das war einfach so frei und alles war so weit. Und das war ein wunderschönes Gefühl auch der Gemeinschaft und dieser Verbundenheit von uns beiden. Und so eine riesengroße Leichtigkeit. Und als ich dann nochmal gewechselt bin auf einen anderen Stuhl und als meine Eltern dann dabei waren, war es wirklich so, dass ich versucht habe, sie mitzunehmen, dass sie auch fliegen. Das hat in der Rolle zumindest nicht funktioniert. Also ich habe ihnen erklären wollen, das war so wie so eine Treppe nach oben ins All. Und wollte sie darauf hinweisen, dass sie fliegen können. Also sie müssen nicht die Treppenstufen gehen, sondern sie können fliegen oder wirklich hunderte von Metern hüpfen. Und es hat dann so relativ schleppend funktioniert. Und ich bin dann halt einfach geflogen nebenher. Als ich mit meinem Freund ganz alleine auf der Reise nur war, waren wir im Meer. Also ich war eine Meerjungfrau, er ein Meermann. Und er ist aber nicht richtig mitgekommen. Also es war wie, als wenn wir an der Wasseroberfläche geblieben sind und ich ihn dauernd animieren wollte, mit runterzukommen, weil die Welt unten einfach so wunderschön ist und die einfach auch zu entdecken. Und als ich dann nochmal in eine andere Position gegangen bin, war es so, dass ich diese Reise fortgesetzt habe, einfach nur für mich und wirklich untergetaucht bin und wirklich wie Pirouetten gedreht habe, total frei war und diese Unterwasserwelt genossen habe. Also ich fühle mich dem Element Wasser sehr, sehr zugetan und Das war für mich eine wunderschöne Erfahrung, auch durch das Fliegen als erstes und jetzt im Wasser. Also auch mit den verschiedenen Elementen wirklich so verbunden zu sein und das so ganz, ganz tief eben auch zu spüren. Und manchmal war es manchmal war es wirklich wie, als wenn ich eben das Wasser spüre oder auch eben die Luft und diese ganzen Dinge. Genau. In der Unit selbst habe ich jetzt gar nicht so viel wahrgenommen. Das war eher wie ein Raum von der Kirche, wo ich drin saß. Und es war sehr ruhig und meditativ. Und ich saß einfach nur in der Mitte dieses ganz hohen und großen Raumes und habe einfach nur die Botschaft für mich bekommen, wie wichtig es ist, wirklich einfach nur zu sein und da zu sein. Und das war dann einfach sehr entspannt. Das andere war sehr abenteuerlich und das war sehr entspannt. Ja, und dann war ich noch auf einem Planeten mit roter Erde und Bäumen. Das sah aus eher wie so eine Kinderzeichnung, wie die Blätter so dran waren, wirklich so einzeln, wirklich nur an den Ästen, nicht wie wir es sonst hier von der Erde kennen. Und die Erde war zu heiß, also habe ich eine Gestaltwandlung gemacht, wo mein unterer Körper wirklich wie Tentakeln hatte, wo eine Flüssigkeit abgesondert wurde, die verdampft ist und so konnte ich über diese Erde laufen, weil das in unserem Körper gar nicht möglich gewesen wäre. Das habe ich auch sehr deutlich wahrgenommen. Genau. Ja, und als ich dann noch auf
Excuse me, Mr. Keshe, should we get a German translation here or English translation?
Meine Seele jetzt erstmal reicht.
Germans have the same right. Let us listen to it and then we begin translate, if you allow it. We would try to go that way.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, can we have, can you stop the video, please? Can we have Mario, if he is there, in the German language, if he can translate for us, please? Or do we have any other Germans who can translate? Can you stop the voice on the recording, please, in the background?
Relativ normal vom Gefühl. Ich habe ein bisschen die Energien gespürt, dass sich ein bisschen was ausgeglichen hat, aber es war noch relativ normal, einfach vom Gefühl. Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, passiert, da waren auch Emotionen.
Don't see Mario.
Do we have? Who do we have?
Steph has got a hand up.
Yeah, if she can translate for us, please.
Yes, I can.
That's a chance.
It's a lot of. I try to remember. Okay. It's finished.
Okay.
Yes. Could you translate?
Yes, I can do. Can you stop the?
Can you stop the video, please?
Yes.
Just wait.
Ich bin in die Erde hineingegangen. Das war aber nur ein ganz kurzer Moment. Und dann sind wir auf die andere Seite und dann hat es nochmal begonnen. Und als ich dann mit meinem Partner zusammen auf der Reise war, war es wirklich eine ganz wunderschöne Erfahrung, weil wir im All waren. Wir konnten beide fliegen und sind wirklich durch die ganzen Planeten und die Sterne und das war einfach so frei und alles war so weit und das war ein wunderschönes Gefühl auch der Gemeinschaft und dieser Verbundenheit von uns beiden. Und so eine riesengroße Leichtigkeit. Und als ich dann nochmal gewechselt bin,
they seem to be having trouble stopping the video.
Yes. So, okay, because it's not so good to talk.
Just wait for a second. Wait 1 second. Let us see what we can do in
Sure.
the background. 1 second.
No problem.
Stop now. No, wait.
Wollte sie darauf hinweisen, dass sie fliegen können. Also sie müssen nicht die Treppenstufen gehen, sondern sie können fliegen oder wirklich hunderte von Metern hüpfen. Und das hat dann so relativ schleppend funktioniert. Und ich bin dann halt einfach geflogen nebenher. Als ich mit meinem Freund ganz alleine auf der Reise nur war, waren wir...
So, it stopped. Yes. Can I translate? Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I think it's appropriate to go ahead. I'm not sure, but Mr. Keshe said something about things in the background, but I think it's good to go ahead. Is that okay, Mr. Keshe?
Can you translate, please?
Yes, I can translate. Although I remember she said when she was at the first seat, she didn't feel so much, but on the second seat, she felt emotions. And then he flew with her friend through the universe, just flying both. And then she meets her parents, and they are not very, they're old and cannot walk, and they want to use the steps, but she said to them, please, we can fly. And they try to fly with her. And the other thing was, after that, she goes with her friend on a red, planet. And I remember that and after this, without her friend, then she had no legs because she couldn't move on the planet. She was like a octopus on the outer part, also on the down part of her legs, because it was too hot or it was not able to walk with legs, and so she told she's like an octopus on her legs. So that was the thing I remember. And then I think you repeat this session again. I don't know if something will go on. And she felt very emotional. She had, on the second seat, she felt tears, and on the first seat, not so much, but on the second, and then she goes with her friend flying through the universe, meeting her old parents, and they tried to use the steps, but she said, no, you can fly. And so they tried to fly, but it was not so able for her parents, I remember. After that, the red planet she told about was, there was something else with the red planet, I don't remember. And then after this, the planet where she had no legs, just this octopus legs under her, because she couldn't move on this stuff. That's what I remember. And very emotional, very emotional.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. Now we see that's another sensation of flight, another condition of flight, another condition of and we see how things will take shape. Just 1 second, because they all, you see, go through the sensation of flight, but they decide to flight. They decide where to go. They decide in how to take steps, and they decide the emotion. You don't need to. And they are fully aware of the physical awareness that where they are. They're not put into something else. And the only thing we give them when they come out, if they want a bottle of water, because they're all very excited. They're very, very excited. They're very emotional. And I'm sure when these people come for the next other sessions, they will go through deeper understanding, and then they can, the excitement of the first time goes out of the window, and they will come to the point of balance. They will come to the point of realization. And we are hoping some of the people will come for the next time, second, third time. When they go to these places, they bring us back souvenirs that physically we can see. The establishment of the two systems is that way, it will be that way, and fortunately, we have the knowledge to be able to materialize it. To, like the way you've seen, it took us years to establish, and you see one after one explain the same thing. So it's amazing how easily man could have taken different course in the world of knowledge and science from the beginning and listened to his soul, and we would not be in here with what we see. The matter state would have been another condition which we are aware of. As the other lady said, I could control it. I wanted to carry on with my journey. I didn't want the dimension of physicality to interfere. And now we see, for the first time, man has a choice. For the first time, man is entangled with the reality of his life, which is the dimension of the soul. I would like you to listen to the mother of the lady. She's a shaman too. And experience again is in German. Then if you can translate for us afterwards.
Mein Name ist Ingrid Meise und ich erzähle jetzt mal, was ich gefühlt habe und was ich erlebt habe. Und zwar auf dem ersten Stuhl hat es erstmal ein bisschen gedauert, bis ich etwas gespürt habe. Und dann habe ich aber zum Schluss doch eine Harmonie gespürt. Und auf dem zweiten Stuhl, als ich dann gewechselt habe, habe ich meine Seele, die Seele von meiner Tochter und von meinem Mann gesehen, die sich in der Mitte getroffen haben, verbunden haben. Und die Farben waren, also zuerst die Seele mit meiner Tochter, meine Seele und von meiner Tochter. Die Verbindung war rosa und dann kam die Seele von meinem Mann dazu und die war richtig rot. Und der Lebenspartner von meiner Tochter, der kam dann von der anderen Seite dazu und die Energie hat sich grün gezeigt.
Perhaps Steph can translate now. Oh, I thought it was a break. I thought it was a break. I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah,
yeah, still going.
Yeah, because now I'm prepared.
Wie so ein Schwall, also ein Energieschwall durch den ganzen Körper gespürt. Und ja, und dann bin ich ja nochmal gewechselt in die Mitte, in dieses Raumschiff. Und da habe ich eigentlich nicht sehr viel gespürt. Und erst als ich dann wieder zurück bin auf den dritten Stuhl, da habe ich dann eine tiefe Traurigkeit empfunden, weil meine Seele hat sich mit der Seele von meinem Mann verbunden und da habe ich eine tiefe Traurigkeit gespürt. Und da sind mir auch die Tränen gelaufen und ja, das hat eine Weile angehalten. Und dann habe ich aber gemerkt, wie es umgeschwenkt ist und auf einmal eine Stärke kam, die sich immer mehr aufgebaut hat. Und dann habe ich auch gemerkt, dass da eine Harmonie war und habe auch dann wieder gewechselt zum nächsten. Und da ging das auch erstmal noch weiter, also diese Stärke wurde immer, also es wurde immer harmonischer. Und dann sind mir trotzdem noch die Tränen gelaufen, aber dann eben aus einem anderen Gefühl heraus. Eben auch, weil eben da jetzt, ja, so eine Ruhe war, so eine Entspannung auch. Und ja, also das war dann wirklich ein schönes Gefühl. Und der Herr Keshe hat mich noch gefragt, ob ich auf den Mond fliegen wollte. Und da habe ich gesagt, nein, das wollte ich nicht. Und das habe ich aber auch schon zu Hause gespürt. Also schon gestern, vorgestern wusste ich ganz genau, dass ich nicht zum Mond fliegen wollte oder irgendwo hin. Das war für mich also vorher schon klar. Und ich vermute mal, dann kann man das auch nicht, dann blockiert es eh. Und ja. Aber das andere war für mich jetzt wirklich auch, ich glaube, das werde ich erst merken in den nächsten Tagen, was da passiert ist. Aber es ist auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr viel passiert. Ja. Das.
Okay, translate.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, also on the first chair, she it had something. It was a time there was she's sitting, nothing happens, but then it happened something. She felt something, and then she moved to the second seat, and she feels the soul from her daughter, and they were they get together, her soul and the soul from the daughter, and they were connected, her soul and the daughter's soul, with a pink ribbon, and with her husband came to the toe, the ribbon become red, and then came the husband from the daughter from the side, and the ribbon moved green. So, and then she felt an energy through her body, and then she moved in the middle from the flight unit. There she don't feel so much. First, when she moved to the third seats, she felt sadness because of the soul with his husband. She wasn't. Yeah, she was sad because she felt the soul from her husband. I don't know if. I don't remember if they were together. She felt something just because the soul, or if the soul had problems with her husband. I don't remember. Then she gets to the, oh my God, I cannot read it. Then she goes to the next, and she feels harmony. And by every change of the seat, she felt more harmony, but she always has tears in her eyes. Because of the quietness. And you were asked her if she wants to move to the moon, and she absolutely say no. She had thought of her last days, and she don't want to go to the moon or fly to the moon. And she said, she thought when she don't want to go there, it's not possible to go there. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You see that is a full control. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for translating.
Yeah, sure.
Please stand by. I think you might have another one. You might have to translate.
Sure.
Mr. Keshe mentioned here that he had something that he could add to that translation as well. Do you want to hear that?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Keshe.
Yes, hello from the daughter before. I have something. Can you
Yes.
hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes, she told that she was on the ocean. She was a mermaid, and the partner was a merman. And they were on the top of the water, and she wants to go into the water, but the partner didn't want to go, and she tried to animate him, but he wouldn't. And later she was alone on the ocean, and she
was with the whales.
She was in the water and enjoyed all the animals, and she makes some turns in the water, and she was happy because she likes a lot of water.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And in the first place, when she was half like octopus, she talks about, she told us that she was in another planet. She was another. And she took the trip to go. And don't forget, 4 of them were together when they captained what we call the spaceship of theirs. This shows that we cannot take everybody with us. They have the free will. Just because we are at the soul level, we respect what we translated to the language we understand. This is going to be an adventure for many of you. We don't put anything on your head. We don't put anything on your eyes. There is nothing given. It is allowing the expansion of the soul of the man to be free to travel the span of the universe. When you are at the level I am and you stand in these rooms, you see the expansion of the souls beyond the boundary of the building. We have a system which sits right behind the control panel. You see all of them, they say they go into the chair. There is another, what they call headset inside. They sit in it. It's very big. They can't touch it in a way. They're free inside. And behind it, there is a system. I usually turn this system out. And from the noise of it, transfer of the plasma, I understand how much they're at peace, how much they control. I was teaching one of our knowledge kids who's going to be in the room most of the time from now on, because he's part of the learning process of it to learn the effect of the field. I see these fields between the soul and the system behind. And when they find peace, the system noise changes. The speed goes very high. The sound of like the speed of the fields go very high. And then when they're struggling, we see the speed of the fields go low. It's like they're breaking it, they're just stopping it because they have a problem with physicality. And when they come out, I already know everything I need to know about their struggle, how they went through it. And we see movement of fields within the building and move out of the building. I'll teach this in the coming time to knowledge seekers. That you see, like when you see a car coming to you, you see there's a car. Somebody, your daughter runs to you, you know that's your daughter. You see the approach of the souls. And I see this in the room. It's like a daylight. Sometimes I can even describe the physicality they're touching to. Because you see that I've traveled the universe long enough. I see it's not that something suddenly a soul comes and stands next to you. You see the approach. They see your approach. She speaks about the colors. Go back to teachings long time ago. When I tell you that when you see the souls from the color, you know if they're danger or they're good or whatever. And this lady explicitly speaks about it. Go and find the teaching. That when you come to a soul, is it there to give or is it to take? And the colors she speaks about gives me a clear indication about the emotion underneath in the family. And we are not psychologists. We are men of the science of the universe. And I can read, I can understand how this family is structured because we listen to the father and to the mother. I know what's the position of the son-in-law, not talking about him at all. In the journey they took was the position of the girl, a father to the girl, to the son-in-law, mother to the father, to the daughter, and the son-in-law. It's amazing how the colors cannot tell lies. And we hear many of you knowledge seekers as you go through the process, you'll explain this to us. This is the first time we have opened the work of the soul in the dimension of universe. And go back to book number 3, where I explain that different colors of the ganses, they don't mix. They stack up. We put the picture there. Ganses are energy fields, and the reflection of the energy shows what they are, why they have these colors. And now a lot of teachings we can put into practice. I told you I'd take you to space, but now it's like somebody's just got a car and goes for joyriding the first times. Then you learn to become pilot. You become the passengers. And I said to a couple of the knowledge seekers is once you settle with the system, you will lock into the system, it becomes your satellite. You don't need to come here anymore. Anywhere you go into the universe, you are connected. You have a whatever you came here for to change. Whenever it changes slightly that is not what you want, you come back. Now you have a mother, you have a source. Now you have a connection with what is going to gather to help to establish more. What is very strange in one of these, what you hear, they all want to go home. They all want to take that journey to go home. As I said many times before, if you have a cup and an orange, and you transfer the fields of that orange into the cup, with the right ganses, the oceans and what I call different part of the mixture of waters of this planet has become that cup for the souls of the universe to gather here to establish themselves as citizens in a dimension. That's why we don't recognize many of them, because they got the essence of life in the dimension of the fields of this planet. And this is why many of them want to go home. And we hear more and more about this as people come out. And then you understand, and I'll tell you, they are amongst us as friends. They are amongst us as citizens of the universe, and we are a village in that universe. Now, in a couple of what I call videos, you have on that one a lot, if you understand how we look at how we go about these things. And the desire of the man to be man of space, to go to other places and be like them, half octopus. Still, I want to have a connection where I came from. I still stay man. I'll go become a fish. And now, in the next processes, we ask you who are in the system, talk to us, explain to us, and take us what you see. Maybe our soul will join you, and then we see the same thing, we see the same fish, we see the same creatures in the universe. And as the lady said, I want to go home. And those also I saw, those green things, whatever, were my family. I'm home. We are not dealing with theory, we're dealing with the solid facts, people who go, and that's what I said to you, never ever question, because we have a lot to learn. Would you like to play the next video? And let us see what we learn more. This gentleman he'll tell you
Hello.
who he is, I will listen. Go ahead, please.
I am Barbu Constantin, I'm from Romania. I am president of Scientific Association Plasma Romania. We are supporters of Keshe Foundation from many years, and I came here in Linz to apply for the new simulation test for the new enhancement spaceship unit. And I want to tell you about my experience. And first, it's about a new structure. We have three separate chairs that are available for us. And what I understand is each chair is set up with different structure. And for me, the first chair was not so intense, and I want to make this testimonial because in my history, last 5 years, I start to move to separate about my feeding alimentation, to not using a lot of solid food. And for this test, I not eat for 6 days, and I use only liquids and plasma and fields. And first chair for me is not so intense for me. I feel a good balance. Is a lot of fields in the room, and I feel very connected with these fields. I move in the next chair, and in the next chair was very intense for me. The sensation was my heart, my physical, my soul of physicality start to pumping, very intense for a few minutes. And after this, my soul started to moving and to connect with the fields, and was very easy to have this multidimensional experience in the second chair. And in the last chair was very slow for me because was balanced by the second and the first chair, and was very intense for me, not so intense for me. And after this, I'm moving to about the structure, but you must came here, and you're moving in this spaceship, to say, and for the first moment, I feel nothing. But nothing is. You are connected with the fields, but nothing to so intense energy. And after few minutes, I start to connect with the soul of the spaceship, to say like this. And my intention was to create a connection with our DNA RNA from Romania, because I think I am the first representative here. I want to transfer all the knowledge and our DNA to the soul, to make a memory to this new entity, to make a memory with all the structure from Earth. And when Mr. Keshe came and say, okay, right now you are ready to travel, to go outside the Earth, and I feel I command to the unit to make these steps, and after this I feel a lot of entities around of us, and powerful entities, and I would say your tears, yes, my tears start to cry. I start to crying, something like this, because it was very intense energy, and they are preparing me, and I need something like a bell, because it's so intense energy when I start to travel, and they tell me it's not important to go to the moon. They start to moving in our galaxy, I think so, or another galaxy. I start to travel with them, with our spacecraft, and I feel that we stop in some new structure, like a big ship, like a mothership, motherboard, and they put me in the room In this room, they tell me some private information about me, about the technology of Mr. Keshe and everything, how we can apply more, how we can understand, because we start to, they start to send us more information how to do many things with this technology and with the soul of Mr. Keshe. And after this, they put me back in the spaceship. Again, I think we come back, because also I see a lot of movement around of me. And I come back because my time is finished. And what I want to tell you, the world, is to come here. We have 20 experience. It's a very intense experience. First, for me, was very intense. I think for everybody was different, but it's important here to one member of one community to came here, because we must to create this memory of the soul of the spaceship. And I think is good also for our brain structure and everything, this experience, because we are in the room with a lot of good fields. And for me, it was very intense. I want to come back because I have another 19 experience to make, and I hope to have money for this, because it's not in Romania. It's not so so cheap.
Thank you for that. So do you feel that being disconnected from solid matter state food enabled you to travel further? Did you prepared yourself for this?
Yes.
That some knowledge seekers may not. So did you feel by preparing your body and going using plasmatic field interactions of the plasma waters enhanced this soul travel to a further destination?
They, in my communication with other entities, they tell me, yes, it's a step for us, and we need to go. If we want to travel with our soul, is more easy. Mm-hmm. This is very is more intense energy that for me, for example, I'm in the plasma, and other people start to eat some solid food, probably are not so intense. But I think this is the experience of the soul, and I recommend it for the people who came here to not eat one day or to not eat 2 days, only to drink some water to prepare the body, because when you are prepared the body, the soul take the command of your body. And it's more easy to have this experience in these different chairs.
Thank you for that. I think that explains something. So many I've spoken to a few people today, and they've all had very different experiences. And so it really, when you set the intention, and everybody's in a different position. We're all on the same path, but we're just in different positions on this journey. So it depends on your intention and where you would like to go.
We want to go in, but we are not prepared, and this is our intention, to prepare for the new step. And this is I think the new structure, and this simulation is to preparing us, because people came here to pay because they have money, but at the soul level maybe they are not in their mission to make this. They are preparing, yes, they are loving the technology, but they are not with this mission. Maybe they have other mission. But for my understanding is everybody can enjoy of this new thing. Is a new thing on planet, is a public, and I think many people have different experience with these new systems.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any last comments or wishes that you would like to give to speak in Romanian? Tell our Romanian beautiful brothers and sisters.
We are not Romanians. We are not English or Austrian. Maybe my English is not perfect, but I want to tell all the souls, light souls, that are here, to start to support more in their countries the Keshe technology, because we are we are change a lot of things. We change us and we change reality around of us to have powers, to not have fear, and to be in the extremely good movement day by day, because everything is set up. Here we are in the divine plan. Follow your plan, follow your mission, ask about your mission to your soul, and we'll see in the synchronicity everything is balanced. And this is beautiful, because we are in the synchronicity, everything is here, and let to be a little bit joy in your heart.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rick. Barbara is here in the attendees. If you want to bring him up and see how he feels some hours after he's been through the system, would you like to bring him up into the panel? Babu, you're there.
You'll be able to talk there now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can see him. Can you hear me, Babu?
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Keshe? Yes.
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 You've been through it some, good morning. You've been through this experiment some 12, 15 hours now. How does it feel now that you're out? Have you had any, could you share anything with us? Not what happened in the system since you left, since you're there.
I am, because I must balance my field after this experience was very intense. I sleep also in Linz. I'm in Linz right now. And yes, I confirm I am connected also with the simulation entity device or spacecraft. I don't know how you say, but yes, we are connected at the soul level. And I have, because I am in the plasma, I'm not eating for many days. And I have also a lot of energy, but last night I cannot sleep like a normal day before. And this is because I have a lot of energy. I feel a lot of, right now also I feel a lot of energy around of my head. And what I know is because my soul travel in the and communicate with universal and universal beings, and they say they are working also, and we are connecting non-stop with this soul of the device, and this is the what I feel the energy in my head and around of my head, but it's not something something pain or something. No, it's just the fields. I don't know how to describe this. Is a energy. But I must to thank you to all the people behind of you, Mr. Keshe, who make possible this, because it's so impressive this experience for us, for everybody, and I hope to came soon. And I want to ask. In how many periods we can apply for the next session? What is the time?
There is no time limit. We accommodate as people apply. Now we're receiving all reservation into August, September. People are just booking in to come in. And what I would like to ask you, something which puzzled me, when we have people, they take a long time from one seat to another. You are like a jumping jack. You're jumping from one seat to another, to another, to another. What was the reason for it?
I connected with the device and I received, because I am an astral traveler at the soul level. And I receive a lot of information from your soul, also from I connected from your soul with the soul of the spaceship before with 2 days, because I follow some procedure from universal community, and I know they giving us some information to preparing us. And
not interested in that part. Why did you move so fast from, especially seat 1, which is the physicality?
My physicality test in the medicine is very healthy, I made 1 week ago the analyze, and I'm very healthy. I think.
No. Yeah, I understand. What made you to jump from one to the other so fast?
I not feel so intense, and I feel prepared for the next steps.
Okay. What was your emotion inside the system? First of all, as you've seen, there is no walls, nothing in. Everything transparent, it's open in these flight systems. We don't need to cage you to trouble you. What was your impression? What did you feel when you sat in the first time?
I feel a lot of joy and happy and good spams and intense energy, because also in the connection with other souls that are around of the system, I start crying because it's so intense energy, and the physicality respond of this intense energy with my crying. But it's so intense, and we are not prepared. That I think we need more and more to came, because it's a step-by-step process. This, and we cannot keep all the energy that is in the system in the first time. And I feel a lot of joy. I stay with the smile in my face, in the system, and in all the travel. And when I go out from the system, also I feel a lot of happy, a lot of joys. But I cannot remember everything what's happened in the travel. Just little fragments of what is most important, probably, or important.
Would you do it again?
What?
I said, would you take another trip?
Yes, but my problem is to also the money. I'm
not talking about that. I'm talking about the emotion and the feeling. Would you take another trip?
Yes. So I wake up very early, and I'm connected with the device, and it's like because I have experience in this, I learn how to make this connection new, and I jump. I jump today again. And when I see your message with this testimonials public, I feel very, very easy to connect with this device. Also, when I see the picture from these testimonials today, from the KFTV studio, also I connected also with the picture.
As I said to other knowledge seekers who were there, you don't need to come to connect, and you confirm that. Once you establish the center, this becomes the dimension of direction. Well, it'll be interesting to ask you, because I know how sometimes you work in a different way. Tap into the system. There were Germans and Bulgarians and Austrians in the system. Try to see if you made a connection as they've been there. If you can extend the language of Germany, or the emotion of the German feeling, how they feel, or the Bulgarians, and try to see if you can give them knowledge. You're the only one, or not the only one, you're one of the ones who went in. And as you said, you wanted to share and put all the DNA, RNA of the Romanians in the system. You were there to give. And with it, in the first few minutes, you felt nothing, was the time when you're delivering, because you came with that intention. And in giving, you received what you wanted, the flight, the way you wanted. This is the reality about flight with the systems. You didn't come to take. one of the knowledge seekers came in to take the knowledge of universe, and he nearly walked out empty-handed. You went there to give, as a representative of Romanians, the knowledge of the Romanians, the DNA and RNA, as you said. And that's why the first minutes, in a way, you're delivering without you knowing. In return, you were, in a way, empty sack, so you got filled up. And this is the beauty of it. We had the same thing with the lady. She was there to give and took everybody to see the best she could show them. When they were not happy to watch, she says, okay, we go somewhere else. Because she was there to please. She was taken to the soul of the Creator, the Son. Does not need a professor or the rabbi or a priest trying to pretend to see to get to the Son. The lady made a trip unknowingly, and the fulfillment brings elevation of the soul. And we see this in the coming time, how this lady will, not abusing the love she received, to fulfill the rest of the mission of her life. Thank you very much, Bravo. It was nice to see, and we see how we come together.
It's very interesting because you tell about to connect with the Bulgarian and the German, because also I give the cup, I came with Gans, the cup of the universe, and I share with the Bulgarian and the German. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, I know. One of them is with me. I don't know where I picked it up, but it's with me. We'll go back to them. I saw the vases you brought.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you keep that connection and build that connection to become strong enough. We go to the brother of the brother and sister. He is one of the most serenest people I've seen for a long time. Very young, but extremely deep-mannered, extremely serene, and very, very naturally control of life. And these are what we call the leaders of the future. People who will lead through the essence of knowledge. He's a university graduate from Netherlands, born in Holland, and you see a different dimension. It took a long time. I was worried if he's going to leave yesterday at all, any of the seats. He tested and tried every position of the, what we call controls of his body, his arm, what we have, the handles they hold to keep connection. And he took a long, long time with the chair. But it's interesting how he came. He was a second person in, then his sister joined, and then we had the couple joining them. And we tried being with the passengers together as a different people. I tried to connect the two, brother and sister, through the soul level. And then they're here. We call them in. I hope they're in a trip back to Netherlands. And they will tell us if we can get them online, if they raise their hand to allow Rick to bring them in. And the sister speaks in English, she has a good command of it. And then she wants to speak in Netherlands because it's her mother language. And let's go through this. If we can have the video of the brother first. And let's see what we hear. You hear me faint in the back because we didn't have the microphone. He was the first person came in. So he gets question asked and then he tries to answer.
First time, no, actually. My wish was to. My wish was to facilitate the understanding of the totality of all the souls, and to be in love and in peace and in completion. Yes, but I did not achieve it. We did. So we start with chair 1. We move into chair 1 and you start adjusting to the fields, to the new fields. And for me, this felt at the beginning very subtle. But with time, this becomes more apparent in your body and in your, especially in your brain. You feel the buzzing, the warmth, the presence of something like a heat, something like a pressure, but a very mild pressure. And at one point this resides, this subdues and becomes more constant and pleasant and not notable anymore. You become one with the feeling, and that's when I decided to move to the second chair. Directly with the second chair I felt more, again, a new pressure, a new source of adjusting to the fields. And this took a bit more time for me. It took more time because we needed more fields to be adjusted. And as time went on, as I felt more in balance and more in peace, with the second chair you feel more emotions. I felt more emotions going through me, but they were not out of control, they were just beautifully present. With the first chair this was not as much the case. And as the emotions start to have peace within me, I slowly start to get into a point of the balance again. And then I move to the third chair. And when I move to the third chair, this one is different again. The third chair was less. This time you're less present with your thoughts. Your thoughts have found more peace, and you start to think less, or you don't think anymore. Sometimes I did, and then I peacefully went into the emotion of peace again. With the third chair you start, it's gradual, it becomes more and more. What is becoming more? The thing is the feeling of being connected with everything, but it's not the feeling. It's the filter is becoming less, that is making you not everything. It's like the sugar that melts. You become more within the fields. And the third chair did have a pretty strong, again, feeling in my brain of being there. And as I was asked to move to the big system, with the big system, the big system, it's the same as the third chair at the beginning. But slowly it's not you notice it's not actually not the same. But that was for me. Quickly actually, within the first minute, In the first seconds you think it's not very different, but then you notice how it's different, and you notice how much more peace the system is willing to work with you. You feel it's not you do something and the system is doing so. You work together with the system. You become one with the system. And after that, it's so many things happened. So many things have as you move on and to become more friendly with the system, and you trust yourself or the fields again with the system more. That is when you start traveling easier and connecting with all that you were not really easily connecting before. To enter the souls of many people and many beautiful creatures, all the creation. And at one point, it was complete. You feel it wasn't complete for me because you still know you can go further, but at one point you are at one stage that you go on and on and on, and it's at the completion stage. And that's when I slowly wanted to make a move to the third chair back after having traveled to some places. And this time when you go back to the third chair, that notion of completion, it's more faded again. It's there, but it's again faded. It's like 50%, but I can't say that. Of course, numbers don't really. And that slowly subdues even further. But you cannot remember it because it's not something to remember. It's you are. And to be in balance, you slowly find your new balance in the third chair again. And that's when I started interacting with my sister. More, actually, I shouldn't say started, but more consciously, more with the thought matter, started to do it again. And all I can say, one of my intentions was to go home, but really home. And this happened more when my sister was in the system. When I was giving more to my sister, I felt more at home. Even though I tried to give constantly to everyone, but it was easier to give to my sister all. And this feeling of home, it continued, but sometimes it also faded again. And with time, when I found a balance of peace, I went to the second chair. And this subduing was mostly the same with the second chair. So I'm not going to hold you much longer. I did feel the need for everyone to sign the World Peace Treaty. So I want to remind everyone, if you're watching. And that's when we got this beautiful mission reminder. We were supposed to go to the moon. So I should say that at one point, as another sir came in the room, I don't really remember my emotions too strongly because a lot was going on, but I did feel this balance. Excuse me. And then the lady came in, so we became 4 people, along with Sir Keshe, of course. and there is the balance again. I was at this point at the first chair, and we were reminded that we were supposed to go to the moon. So going to the moon is instant. But realizing that you've arrived is also a thing. Realizing the new environment that you're in. Realizing the emotions of all the souls that were already there. I should say that we love all the souls, and especially they already know. But at one point I did feel someone was abandoned. Someone felt abandoned. Maybe it was my inner me, but I don't know. But we did find peace together, and it was a beautiful journey. I invite everyone to find their beautiful selves and to join the peace, to share and give unconditionally. And I'm looking forward to the next steps that we make together. I think everyone is. I don't know what to say. I spoke a lot, so.
Did you take one journey to the moon or two? Did you do it while you were in the system? Or did you go to the moon when we put you together, so you're passengers?
Now that you put it this way, I think I was already at the moon before. But as I said, it's realizing that you've arrived. No, not that I was constantly there, but I had been before during my own time before we were reminded of the mission. Yes, the big system. Yes. With the group, how is it with the group? It is, I have to say, when I was alone, I also felt the when you're in the third chair, you start feeling that your mind is bigger from the inside. That's maybe a funny way to put it, but yeah, it's just different. And when I was in the big system, the actual system, I should say maybe, then is when I felt that very deep connection with every single soul.
Can I ask you a question? Have you achieved what you came here for, or more than you thought?
A lot more. A lot more. At the same time, I did feel that there was still steps for me. But I have achieved what I came. I didn't come to get anything, but to experience, to be part of what I want to be part of. If I can say anything, then I wanna wish everyone the very sincerest peace and love from me. And I think if I can feel it, then it's definitely from all the beautiful souls that are present in this building and that have worked so hard to make this happen. And no need to mention it, but of course to you, sir. But yes, and just please come join us with peace, and let's go home and be home together.
Thank you very much. I think it's nice to listen to the rest of this.
So, would you like to introduce yourself as in your first name?
Yes. My name is Galip Imran Gedik. That's my given name by my parents. Beautiful parents, beautiful name.
And where do you reside? What's your nation? Where did you become born on planet Earth?
Yes, the transition happened on June 1998 in Amsterdam. Beautiful nation, beautiful people. It's a small country with a lot of people, and my parents, they came from Turkey. So they moved to Holland or the Netherlands, and so in a way the Turkish spirit and the Dutch spirit have met, not just with me, but many more people, and it's beautiful to be part of this culture with many cultures. And that's what I've loved, to be in touch with so many cultures. And with my background, it's easier to appreciate the different ones, the different cultures, different people. I shouldn't say easier, just for me, I got used to it soon, early.
So, thank you so much for sharing your experience. How do you feel? How do you feel in this moment right now?
How do I feel? Feelings. I feel endless and infinity and happy. Very happy as well.
Thank you for that. That's you've expressed and you've given a lot that people can hold on to and become aware of. Maybe what they will experience. As Mr. Keshe said, and we all know, this journey is for each of us different. However, that connection that you found, that oneness, that you said you the souls, you sensed the souls, and you said that in one moment you said you felt when you connected more with your sister, you felt that the connection then opened up to the others. Is that my understanding? Was that correct?
Yes, now that you put it that way, that's actually accurate. And it makes sense to me why. And connection to others. Others, yeah, it's a funny word. But yeah, I don't know how much to. It's definitely that I don't want to limit other people for their beautiful journeys and for their beautiful experiences and their additions to this knowledge and their participation to peace. And mine was just very simple. Yeah, I know that I would be honored beyond what I can express if I can continue to participate in this peace process.
Thank you very much. One last question. So your intention when you went in, your intention was to give to others, to give unconditionally from yourself to your sister or to the experience that you've just experienced. So when we set the intention of giving, then the system locks with us or connects with us and gives us an experience of whatever our intention or our soul wishes to experience, to sense, to connect. connect with.
Yeah, the system, I cannot speak for the system. I felt that the system really wants to work with you. Like, the system really is like pushing you, or not pushing you, but like helping you along the way. And at one point, because you're physically interacting also with the system, the boundaries of your physicality slowly start to be less rigid, but that's not something to be worried about because it happens every night as well. The system wants to give with you and work with you for your intention. So if you try to do more on your own, or if you think you're alone, sometimes that's when you need to remind that you're not alone to yourself. And that's then you're again with the system working with you, I should say.
I said one last question, but now many questions come into my thoughts. So, did you sense? With your senses, or was this on a soul level? Did you sense things through a soul level, or did you? Many knowledge seekers would like to know: did you sense lights, or did you sense motion, or did it just feel that you were just suddenly connected?
This changes for me, as I moved on from the chairs. At the beginning, it felt to me as a just internal happening, internal journey. But especially after the third chair, and when I was in the big system, you feel the winds, you feel the different sounds. There is a bit sound in the room, but the sounds start to change, the smells start to change. You start to smell less, and then suddenly, for maybe a blink of a moment, a very different smell. I kept my eyes closed for most of the part. Actually, maybe I opened it once or twice, but as you move through the systems, the visions become a lot clearer as well. But not clearer, I should say more. You're more with peace with what you're seeing internally. You're more balanced with your vision. I shouldn't say it's like, for me, it wasn't like a movie playing inside. Not at all, but the vision was more correct with your understanding of what was happening. That's maybe the most accurate way of putting it for me.
You said something very interesting then. You said you felt the sound.
Yes. That's the way of putting it, actually. That's a good way of putting it. There's a lot of sounds already in the room. It's quiet. It's not a busy room, but some things make sound. And it kind of starts to fade away. So that's why I did not really think about how to put it in words yet. And I don't know if I was going to. But I'm, of course, yeah, that's that's it for now.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. That's wonderful. I know that many knowledge seekers will thank you very much for giving us the experiences, giving us your soul connection, and thank you so much for being present in this moment and helping humanity and giving us this sharing of the knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's an honor. I'm just, yeah, I want to thank everyone. I felt everyone, and we're in this together.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Thank you as well.
Thank you very much. He's here. Let's speak with him personally and then we go to the sister. Rick, could you please bring him in, or he is there? He can explain to us.
If he could put his hand up, or what's the name again?
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Good day. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you are.
Yes, good morning still. We're in the mountains of Austria, beautiful scenery, but if I fade away, I fell away a few times, so that you know that that's why.
Yes, I know you're traveling back to Holland. How do you feel today after being nearly 24 hours away and you've been through the system?
It's been fantastic, especially yesterday. It was still a bit intense. I had throughout, especially when people, I think when they entered, I started feeling the head, pressure on the head again, and it was I asked Barbu later, did you enter this time? And he said yes, and I said, okay, yeah, we know. But that's been, we've been handling this. It's been a positive feeling. It's been the soul. It's after, especially yesterday when I in the evening, you realize this is Earth again, and you find you start to find patterns in your life again, and how you go on with life and how you're going to integrate your experiences. I've been trying to simulate and try to do it again.
Hello? Rick, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think we have a fade out there.
Yes, yeah, they're traveling through the mountains of Austria and the connections are not usually good. What we're going to do, we're going to listen to the sister. She speaks fairly, trying to speak English, but because she's bilingual, she's born in Holland. You see, yeah. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? You're going through the mountains. We hear you cut off. Can you join us in the tomorrow's morning teaching when you're in a stable position in Holland? If you could come back, and then we can talk properly without breaking up, and we can understand after 2 days what you went. Is it still the same?
Yes.
I think that would be the best way to do it. Please make sure your sister is there. It was a pleasure to see you together and how you felt about each other. Part of the recording, you lost voice, so we don't have a voice on, but we have the video. And then you can explain, both of you, to us how you felt together in that room. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us in Austria. If you want to play the video of the sister, please, both in English and beautiful language of touch.
So you can start speaking whenever you like.
Should I introduce myself? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maryam. I'm 21 years old. Today was my first experience. It was very special because in first case when I came in, actually before I came in, I expected something. I know I shouldn't expect something, but like everyone will have an idea. Like, okay, so is it? It's like it's going to be like this or that. But when I came in, it was very different, and I sat on the chair and I felt a little bit pressure and some changings in my body, and it was I'm together with my brother, and we actually tried to connect with each other, and it was I felt the connection, and I think he also felt the connection. It was very special, and I think he yeah, that's it.
So you can start speaking whenever you'd like.
Should I introduce myself?
Please.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maryam. I'm 21 years old. Today was my first experience. It was very special because in first case when I came in, actually before I came in, I expected something. Hallo allemaal, mijn naam is Maryam, ik ben 21 jaar oud. We zijn hier in Oostenrijk bij de eerste ervaring, Spaceship. Nou ja, het was heel bijzonder. Je hebt natuurlijk verschillende fases. Fase 1, stoel 1, stoel 2, stoel 3. En daarna kom je eigenlijk in de echte chair. En nou ja, je zit op een stoel en dan zit er zoiets om je heen. Ik voelde op een gegeven moment een beetje druk op mijn hoofd. Of hier eromheen, rondom mijn hoofd. En ja, je probeert je eigenlijk gewoon echt te focussen op je ziel en op het universum en de verbintenis daarvan. En nou ja, toen zat ik op een gegeven moment op de tweede stoel na 5 tot 10 minuten, zoiets. En dan probeer je weer gewoon te focussen op je ziel. En ja, toen voelde ik eigenlijk meer druk op de linkerkant van mijn lichaam. Vooral mijn benen. Het is niet echt pijn, maar je voelt wel iets. En het is opvallend. En op de derde stoel, dan ga je weer proberen te focussen met je ziel. En intussen tijd had ik heel veel andere gedachten. En dat is allemaal heel normaal, denk ik. En nou ja, op de derde stoel was dat vooral de linkerkant van mijn lichaam. En ook vooral mijn been. Dat ik een beetje druk voelde. En ja, een kleine steek, maar dat deed niet echt pijn. En nou ja, daar was ik dus ook klaar mee. Ongeveer 5 tot 10 minuten. Sommige duurden wat langer. En op een gegeven moment voelde ik mezelf ook een beetje zweverig worden. Dus toen kwam ik uiteindelijk in de echte chair terecht. Ja, mijn broer die is er ook. En die zat toen ook in een van de 3 stoelen tegenover me. En ja, je probeert je gewoon echt heel erg te focussen op je ziel. En het universum en de verbintenis daarvan. En nou ja, mijn broer en ik hebben ook geprobeerd te connecten met elkaar, onze zielen te connecten met elkaar en alles om ons heen. En ik voelde wel echt connectie. Ik voelde gewoon de aanwezigheid van zijn ziel. En ik denk dat hij hetzelfde heeft gevoeld. We hebben elkaar nog niet gesproken, maar het was in ieder geval wel echt een hele bijzondere ervaring. En nou ja, ik heb ook het universum gezien, of tenminste eigenlijk planeten en de maan. Ik heb eigenlijk ook Mars gezien. Ik heb er niet op gelopen, maar ik ben er wel echt geweest met mijn ziel. En het is moeilijk om de hele tijd gefocust te blijven met je ziel en alles om je heen. Maar als het een paar keer lukt, dan, tenminste bij mezelf, ik ben blij, ik ben tevreden. Dus ik heb er een goed gevoel over gehad. En ik ben nog steeds heel blij dat ik het heb gedaan. Ja, dat was het.
This is our first time speaking. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe it's interesting if we talk about, because you also talked about your experience. But I was already sitting when you came in the room. So I did feel you coming in the room. It was very subtle though, and as you started going through the systems and as you moved up through the systems, you were more and more present in my knowledge and experience. But at one point we were making more connection. What did you do and how did you? Because I can tell, I just started loving you more. That's what I did. That's what I did. And then I just realized every time I tried to love you more, I imagined your face. Of course, it's like a QR code of yours, if you can. But so I tried to reduce this. I tried to, like, how can I not make it physical? How can I love you more, not physically? And that was a journey. That was adjustment needed as we moved on. So I wonder how it was for you.
Yeah. When I came in, you were already sat in the main chair, and in first case I was like, oh, what's he seeing or what's he thinking? But I also did felt the connection. And actually in the first chair, I was more thinking of what am I going through and things I feel in my body. So I wasn't really focused on us. But the further I went to the second or third chair, and actually when I was in the main seat, you were in the third seat.
That was a strong.
Yes, that was very strong. I felt it like boom, and.
But I wonder, like, you felt a lot of things, but not everything was your connection to me, of course.
No.
Do you think you can make a distinction? Do you? What's the difference between me moving from the third chair to the second chair? Do you remember that, or do you even remember that I moved?
No, I didn't remember that you moved. I felt the strongest connection when I was in the main seat and you in the third seat. Like when you freshly came out of the main seat and went to the third seat, I felt a very strong connection, but I didn't remember that you went to the second.
Yes, we had to stop here, but this is where our sound system failed, but they carry on and are
man in charge doesn't realize the battery has run out. And he realizes later on, but it's already there. We hear from them tomorrow. But it's very interesting when you listen to these two. And as he says, extreme in Bompard, that we say it's just like that, you know, you go to the airport and say, now it's time to fly, you have to board. I walk in the room very gently and ask them, I would like you to take a flight. And he tells you instantly. Hopefully, it's in part of the recording. We don't have, tell us tomorrow. He feels the presence of the sand of the moon. And they explain. This is what I told you, it's instantaneous. We don't need rocket propulsion. We don't need these tools of UFOs. The knowledge given to man is beyond understanding. But man is so like an innocent child that learns everything very fast. You can teach it 10 languages, you understand. And in the world of the knowledge of the universe, man is that infant. And as I said, instead of teaching to our children in schools and universities all the present physics and then going whatever you learned is wrong, now there's a new technology, let's teach them from the beginning, from day one. And you're in that position. You will not see a lot that a lot of other races throughout the universe have gone through to get, just to understand a bit of what you understand. With all the problems, with all the physicality, the man has been through thousands and millions of years to be where it is, from a mouse in the hole when the dinosaurs were here to the man, the way he calls him the king. You're an infant. You're not literally born in the dimension of the knowledge of the universe. And it's easy to teach you because you're receptive. You can develop and learn new ways. But the little bits you learned in past millions of years has tarnished the beauty of the child, which is getting born. And we have to sort it out. It'll be sorted out. And now you see, you don't need aircrafts. You don't need nothing. If you can expand the soul of the man beyond the physicality of the man. As I said, these are systems. I stood in this room yesterday. It's a very strange talk and thoughts. And in a way, at the beginning, I explained to you, not very far from this exhibition center, not very far. It's a concentration camps of Nazi time. I walked into the gas chamber of this camp more than a year ago, around a year ago. And I felt the pain of the souls who've been through it. Not very far from this gas chamber is the Keshe Foundation Light Unit. Very soon we open these rooms in mass, not just one seat, where we give life to man to live the life of the universe. Still the same rooms, same brick and mortar from the same positions on this planet, same city. Most probably many of the people of the time of last century, Germans have passed through this land. They walked over this land. And now, same room gives life, gives pleasure after life in the universe. And maybe that was the end of the beginning for man, and this is the beginning of a new cycle in the same city, in the same condition. And I always had this horrible feeling. When you walk the streets of Belgium, always had this noise of German Nazi marching in the streets where I walked. That brought me a lot of pain. And now, by the chain of destiny, I'm in the home of where everything started. And we have brought life instead of death. A new life for man, a new life for the humanity from the same streets, same blood. It shows man can never be proud of his own blood or ashamed of his own blood, because it's the passage of time which brings us to that point. We have gone through the worst in this city, one of the most bombed cities in the world. A part of the city is still have bombed. We cannot go even we are in Western Europe. And not very far, a new life, a new cycle, beginning of breakthrough for man to be born in a new dimension, in the same city. What we call the Phoenix effect, rising from the ashes, the beauty of new life. I wrote to the Iranian ambassador yesterday, and I said to him, we have to put what you have animosities about me aside, as our nation and our citizens are far more important than you and me. And this is the way we should feel. Coming together, coming to Linz, coming to put this Wikipedia of the DNA, RNA, and cycle of life of the man in these machines is the beginning of evolution and revolution. Very soon you will not need Wikipedia. Very soon you do not need whatever, Facebook, because the face of the man is the soul of the man. You have access to all of it. You cannot hide your face. You cannot be one thing and the other. And we see the process. And I invite you to come. I invite the soul of you to come. Don't come by drip and drabs. We need to complete this cycle very fast. And as Paul said, I've come here to deposit the knowledge, the emotion, the language, the essence of the Romanian language nation. We have the Germans, we have the Austrians. We've seen the Bulgarians as one of the very first ones to go through. And we see the whole essence of new knowledge. He said, going to move is instant. Going to Father is even much faster. If you know how to connect. And we see one of us yesterday made that passage, but to her was the Son. But to what we know, the Son is the Creator. Then as I told you, you can be a king and travel the earth for thousands of years and hundreds of years and do what Moses did, kill as many as you can, but get nowhere, or be a plain housewife from Austria, Germany, and make that path in an instant. Maybe the Creator wanted to show us how easy you can reach, because the essence of the Son is the essence of the creation and the creator. It's the essence of the soul of the man. We brought this podcast in today. I'm sure we're going to hear about it more tomorrow in the normal teaching time. But in a simple word, very, very simple word, we welcome human race to the true universal community. Now we have given you the tools to come to us, to come to you, and start the process of what we call gathering the knowledge of the universe to be embedded in the new, what I call RNA and DNA of the soul and physicality of the man. And I promise you, when I take you to universal community, I will not take you as subordinate, but equal. But the passage of time has brought us such a joy that we've given man more than equality, and in a way, a new status, a new position, as to be the humblest, to be there to teach knowledge of the community. Mankind soon will understand what gift you've been given, because once this knowledge is released and more of you understand how to do it, less of you are there to create the mayhem of the past, and sooner or later will too. Thank you for being here. And we'll take a small break and come back for a few minutes to answer some questions, and we call it a day. But we try to keep these regularly as we see interesting interviews of people who want to give interviews. You've seen 7 people out of 50. The others don't want to share, but they share with us what they have when they come out. We know the process. And sooner or later, we gather this information. Make your way to Linz to start the peace process, because then there is another bracket which I can tell you behind it. We request the members of the Universal Council to make your way to Austria. The new and the new to come, to go through the system, to understand the position what you have accepted. It's your duty and responsibility. As soul of the man has to be elevated to the soul levels of you as members of the Universal Council. We go for a break and we come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Let me get my screen up here. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll be back in a few minutes. This is the Wednesday, June 8th, 2022 broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Space Travel Simulation Testimonials. We'll be back in a few minutes.
The new Horizontal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a space technology that allows you to work with the fields of the universe. Creating a wide range of plasma field interactions and conditions, it allows the body to process itself from any physical or emotional imbalance. Once this balanced condition is achieved, the soul and emotion of the man can follow to find their balance, elevating the whole of the man. The new Horizontal Enhancement Spaceship Unit. Technology of the future through advanced plasma knowledge.
the new Vertical Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a plasma space technology to prepare humanity for transportation and transmutation in deep space. Essential processes are embedded to prevent mutations and psychosomatic conditions during deep space travel. This new system is designed to support upper body conditions, especially of the lungs and intestines, and can be targeted specifically for each organ. When inside the Vertical Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the body experiences balance in totality, enabling it to correct and rebalance all the fields within itself. The new Vertical Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a dimension in health and transportation never seen before. The revolutionary new Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit is due to be launched in June 2022, and in the same year is expected to fly passengers into space, to the moon and beyond for a day or even several days at a time. There is no need for the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit to carry food or medicine, as it is equipped with the latest space technology for transportation, transmutation and deep space operation. This extraordinary breakthrough technology ushers in a new era of travel without the need of fuel, food, or medicine, even during the longest excursions into deep space. Each spaceship unit has a 4-passenger capacity for long or short duration flights and has the capability to travel between cities on Earth in a matter of seconds to minutes, depending on the distance and speed. This ability to traverse massive distance in such incredibly short time is not just a breakthrough for human transport, it also completely revolutionizes the transportation of goods and cargo and will rapidly overcome the need for one of our most polluting practices, namely marine shipping, as it finally breaks us free not only from the combustion of heavy diesel, but from the combustion of any fuel for propulsion in the future. The Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit, a new paradigm in space travel, space medicine, and space technology.
Okay, here we are back at the KFSSI Space Travel Simulation Testimonials on Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. Mr. Keshe suggested there would be questions during the second part of the show. Are you ready to begin?
They call it the biggest planet, the biggest show on the planet. Let's see if we can extend it.
Make it the biggest show in the universe.
Let's see if the man understands what they've been given as a gift. Are there any questions, or we go back to
Okay, I'll remind our attendees here in the Zoom that they can open their microphones by putting their hands up so that we can recognize you and do that.
We have to remind you that somebody has put the wrong information. We go with this cycle of testing till September. At least September. And if we progress the way we think, we will open a permanent station as a flight center in Austria. This is all depends how we develop the things, and then we have to go back to the authorities in Austria, permission to set up our systems that we can bring you back home or back to Linz. And then once we start doing this, I think the governments around the world will start taking actions and precautions to who we can move and whatever. And there's one guarantee we give them: no criminals, no drug traffickers, and many other things which is in the structure of the damaging the society and the soul of the man and damage of physicality will not go through these systems. And it's very interesting to see how the governments react when, as a friend of ours said, it's a second enemy. We are setting our systems up for you to do a physical dimension travel. But because we are holding, as I said, your tail on this end, we give the guarantees to the government that nobody will be intruding. It's like a mobile phone. You enter, we bring you back during the session, that there is no excursion beyond. But gradually the governments will start accepting the new technology and will go through. And then we go to the international transportation. When you buy a product from China, Japan, if they implant the soul in it, you've got the whole car in one go 1 second. There will be no more shipping lines on the sea to pollute, to create more CO2. Now you understand where we're going. We have to bring this forward so fast, and we will force it to bring it forward so fast. And it's the responsibility of us as knowledge seekers to gear up to the next step. I know many of you will ask many of the others who've been through the system that the enhancement units for flight are nothing you've seen before. The way we take you to the universe is the way the fields of the universe works, not the physicality of the universe. And people who've been through it, they tell you there are no obstacle walls when we ask to go to travel together to the moon, all the ones on the chairs and the ones in the black hole systems, they all see each other. They don't need, most of them don't even open an eye. They feel each other. The presence of soul has come in. And this is what you learn more and more. It's an interesting point you should have seen from the brother and the sister. I felt you coming in. Don't need to open the eye. I'm more of the presence. And the system is very simple. As I said in the other teaching, follow the principle of Zoroaster and Mitra. You are the best traveler in the universe. Any questions?
We have a couple of questions in the chat here first, and a hand up. Sylvia says, dear Mr. Keshe, I would like to come on Friday or Sunday to Linz. About the Germany test group, I want to ask that, is there a place free again, and where can I register?
You register through the Keshe Foundation website. Go to the store, it's there. I think Friday, Monday, Tuesday is fully booked, I think, by the Germans. It's send a message, they tell you. At the moment, we have a German soul invasion into the center. But try to commit, because, as once one said, German blood is an Aryan blood, and everything started from Aryans. So maybe you can add something to us in the passage of time. what we call go to the Keshe Foundation sales and make a booking. We cannot accommodate at the moment with the 2 units. We have more than 30, maybe 40 people a day, because it's not just going in it. You have to be directed, you have to be shown what to do and everything else. And I hope our team will already start processing the next cycle of the systems to be ready hopefully by end of June, or so we can meet 2 more. Will be some changes in the dimensions we have to do. And it'll become a regular occurrence. Nowadays, you go to Berlin or to Denver or somewhere to change, become the hub center. Many people will come to Austria to travel with the system to this part of the universe and other places, even on this planet. They do the first leg by planes, and they do the second leg by traveling instantaneously. Saves time, as we say. So good, just to understand the new time has arrived, and we're seeing passengers of the universe today with us. And I'm sure if you were with me, you would have seen the citizens of the universe yesterday in the local system. I respect you and honor you. And we keep the same unless you want to manifest yourself as who you are. Many of you will see what I saw yesterday in the units. As you see, the soul takes over and the physicality becomes relevant. And we'll see other things as it comes. We are hoping that many of you will take the trip into this space. As we said, we asked you if you want to go to the moon, we'll give you certain instructions to bring back with you what you're looking for, where you are with you. That, as our friend said, it was instantaneous. If we ask you a handful of sun of the moon, you bring the sun back with you. And we can see it. The makers have a sample of it. It's tested. And this is what the next step is. And what I call the public chambers, or what we call transportation hubs, like what's happening in Linz, is the next step for us. You come to Linz, go to space and beyond. And I'm sure those of you who are involved with this, you're very proud of what you have achieved, what you're doing, and I thank every single one of you. It was amazing to meet the deadline that it can be done. Who and how many people have been involved in this process. And it's amazing how we are targeted to achieve this. And get yourself to understand a new beginning for management business started. If one person can do it, then it's one person. Now it's a technology. It's the delivery of a technology, and it's something that can be replicated. And this, when you can replicate, brings advancement to the human race, but this time advancement to this, what we call the freedom of the soul. Not another machine faster, not another luxury thing to be at. Any other question?
Okay, you mentioned there will be openings until September for the main space travel simulation systems. What about the mobile or remote system? I think it was mentioned there'd be 200 people until November. What do you mean by that?
No, we need 200 people by, and then we announced by November what's the status of mobile condition. we are extending the mobile and the international, what we call universal system on top of it. We need to have 200 people because there's a lot of things to be done in the background. And we're very interested in those who did register for the first one to register for the second one, or they don't need to come to Linz. We bring you to Linz. This is very interesting because what is important for us with these is that we already have your fingerprint in the system. We don't need your mobile phone. So some of you who have been through the first process, register for the first process, if you want to do the reverse, you already have a fingerprint. I don't even need your mobile app. And you're hiding on a very thick blanket. Very, very thick one. Size of a universe. Any other question?
Okay.
There's something
perhaps
I have to
Stefania can go.
Can I add something? Okay. We've always done it. Keshe Foundation always has done this. And it's been the pattern of us. We keep the prices at this level till we are happy with data we're collecting. Our next target, the tickets will go to 5,000. I will do that if we reach our target. Then becomes additional information we want to need. And we do the same with what we call mobile. We increase the mobiles to around about 10,000 euro because that's a different target. It's mainly for corporations, international corporations, and space flight people and the rest. We did that. So with everything else, now is the process of going that way because we are not looking for numbers. We are looking to padding the information. Very soon we'll change this to around about 5,000, 10,000 both. Our friends on NASA are on the line. They have a 10 billion budget. They won't fund it. Our friends from other nationalities are online. Governments don't mind adding to the knowledge by paying to bring their scientists into London. And then that brings benefit to all of you. Any other question?
Okay, we have a hand up from Mojan here. Stefania, would you like to go ahead?
We had 15
yes.
Mojans yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. We're all Mojan now. We always
You
been.
all can become. Yep.
We've always been. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, and Mr. Keshe. I got a question from the Italian community. Just a second, because I don't know if you want to say directly to you or if you want me to tell to you. 1 second. Lucio, vuoi che parlo io o vuoi parlare con lui direttamente? Okay. The question. Okay. I mean, maybe I do it. The question. The question was: do we need to have any preparation to come into the machine first? So the question was from Lucio.
No. Only don't come if you got a prosthesis or you have metal pieces.
Sì, ti sentono. Parla, Lucio, parla.
C'è qui una mia amica che vuole fare una domanda, Mr. Keshe.
We have a person who would like to make a question to you, Mr. Keshe.
Yes.
Ok, vai.
Ciao, io sono Stefi. Vorrei sapere se in questo volo potrei incontrare mio padre che è morto 1 anno e mezzo fa.
My name is Stefania, and I would like to know if in these trips I can meet my dad who passed away 1.5 years ago.
That's your decision, decision of your soul, and he wants to meet you because we know people who've been through the trip yesterday and done what you're asking. We are not telling you, we are not doing anything. We're just developing a deep space travel on the principle of the universal system. You have a cancer, you have a leg missing, you want to see your grandfather, a guy came in yesterday blind one eye. These are your, what I call part of your life. We are here in the space technology, but in the space we try to bring everything to be perfect. As you heard, you should have understood this when everybody told you. They sit in the seat one to balance the physicality. They sit in seat number two, the energy is different, but it's balancing the soul of man. It's between the soul and physicality of man. It's in seat three, is totally your soul. And what you do with it.
Posso decidere di fare una sola cosa.
We are not offering you anything. Pardon?
She would like to do another question. She would like to make another question. Vai con la domanda.
Chiedevo se in un viaggio posso fare una sola cosa, nel senso posso incontrare mio padre oppure posso guarire una malattia che ho.
The question is this, no? They would like to know, in one trip, can I do both things? Can I go to see my father, and heal my body? Meanwhile, I'm going to see my father.
We are testing a flight system. What you do in a flight system is yours. When you fly from Rome to New York, you go have food, you go to whatever, you walk, you see your cousin in the back seat sitting somewhere, and whatever. Captain doesn't dictate, and the ship and the plane doesn't dictate who you can see, where you can go, what you can. We are providers of the system. It's you who decides. You're the captain. As the lady said yesterday, I came here to see my daughters. She said, I saw them back in the picture, but I couldn't talk with them. And I wanted to tell her more why. And I thought, I'll leave it. She will understand it. We are like Boeing and Airbus. We're providing a system. What you do in it, you can make a private home in it, you can make a hospital in it, you can make it a whatever, a swimming pool in it, it's you. But in that fitting of what it becomes is in you and your soul. We just provide, we just facilitate that the system is there. You might not get anything out of it, but you get a lot out of it. And you might get a lot of it, not today, but tomorrow, next year. And they say, oh, just remember what you wish, what you wanted when you went to the system, and see when you get it. Any other question?
Okay, we have a question in the chat here. Just get it lined up again. From Steph, is it possible to take a dog with me in the simultaneous flight, or not possible because of her soul? Or can she be just like a suitcase with me?
Of course you can, as much as you can take your child with you. If you got an infant and you want to go to New York in the system, do you leave the infant here in Rome, you go to New York and come back. Once you understand how to do it, it becomes very easy.
They usually put the animals in a special cage on the planes.
Yeah. No, we don't have cages now.
unfortunately,
Can't it's hard to cage a soul.
Yeah, it seeps through the, what do you call it, fine threads.
Okay, we have a couple of questions in Farsi. Pardon me?
Oh God, oh God. Let's see, where is the city? Most probably you want me to, or you translate as usual. You do this.
I tried to translate, but it won't copy properly. It breaks it up. I think it gets confused from backward to forward or something. So I got Azar to translate a couple of these. So one question is,
oh God help you,
asking how long it will take until all nations can have these units for their citizens.
We are building it. We can build maybe 2 this month. I don't know. It's just, you got to see our staff. They're literally working legs out. Expansion of the factory to build this is not my priority. But as many of you know, we knew this point is coming, and we endeavored to set up structures for institute to teach the knowledge of the universe, and setting up these systems. There is much more advanced systems to be completed. And we are still waiting for those who are supposed to do the funding for us to complete it. We get the promise of today and tomorrow for nearly 6 weeks. And otherwise, we would have told you that everything is done that all the nations benefit by. For sure, one of the headquarters of the manufacturing will go to Tehran. That's for sure. We see an evolution in structure of the China. US and Europe, in Austria. The appropriate work was Germany. We have a huge problem in recruiting staff here, credible staff, things. As you know, Austria's got 130,000 vacant positions. It's extremely well employed, and finding good caliber workers is very hard. We look into Germany and Romania and our research centers in other places. We're at the verge of them. A number of them supported us. Was to bring us to be ready when we do the tests, but we still, they tell us the next day or 2 is completed. And then you will see the expansion of the Keshe Foundation worldwide. We're not going to give you what do you call it, a backup system or a generator. We need those things to call the children of the man to play. Our purpose is to rapidly now we release this technology to expand the knowledge. You don't even need the magrav. You're asking if the people went through this, they feel cold. There's no heating in that room. It's a locked place. Did they feel anything with the energy? So we're going to a new system, and we'll see that. Any other question?
Yeah, I think we have a hand up with Danilo here, and I'm not sure if he wants to just go ahead there, or I'll have to take you out of translator mode. Let me do that, or you can't talk, I believe. So I'll end, no, if I end the translation, it messes things up.
Yep, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
I think he needs to have another identity that's, yeah. Okay, perhaps you can write down your question in the chat. We have a couple of other hands up here from Moto G8. Would you like to go ahead first? And then Claudia after that. Moto, did you want to say something? Okay, perhaps not. Perhaps it was an inadvertent hand. Oh, there's a microphone open. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
My name is Leszek. You know, I have a question because, you know, I see these devices, what was made, but the question is why you don't make the center in every country so that can people then try it this?
Can I have about $50 billion? I'll open every city.
Hello?
Yes, did you hear the answer?
No, I don't have this answer.
No, Mr. Keshe says go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
If you raise $50 billion, we open one center in each country. It's inevitable. It will come sooner or later. It's a matter of very short time. People have been waiting, governments have been waiting to see such a technology is possible. Now they see it is. In a few short time, when people can bring, you know, you can sit in the car, go to United States, buy your favorite car, sit in it, and you bring it to Austria. Then the governments will start acting accordingly. Up to now, it was theory, as I said, of the knowledge seekers called me a liar. You lied about the cancer, you lied about the flight system. You're a cheat, you gotta go to jail. Now we answered you cut directly today. I think the jail is for those who actually cheated the Keshe Foundation by their own presence. We have released this and released further part of this technology in a very massive way. The Pandora box is open. If we delay, we can create problems for governments. We can create huge problems for governments. And so we have to deliver as fast as we can.
I understand, but you know, when
we got a bad line here.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, because my question is like, if the people, you know, like this, they are sick, you know, they can try it and they prove it. This machine helps them, you know, with this balance, make the balance of the body with the energy. So I think this government, they don't will be have, you know, any explanation after this, because for example, is with this RSO or
you know something. We are not interested in the health section of this technology. The same as we are not interested in CO2 of it. Because when you travel in the dimension of the soul, in the dimension of energy within you, it does all the work to do all the damage you don't use. So I don't dare to prove to the government. We finished proving the government. We dictate from now on what the government needs to do to match up with the technology which is coming up. And this is something a lot of knowledge seekers don't understand. With the release of the technology yesterday and showing it, we do not wait to prove anything. We dictate a new condition, a new structure for man to live. If I'm going to prove, do I need an FDA certificate for my machine? No, it's a fly machine. If you have, we had yesterday, we don't want to speak about it. We had cases, people who came for a different thing and they found a solution in what they're looking for. You understand? I'm not there to get the approval from FDA. We are a different game. FDA doesn't even, they cannot even imagine such a thing exists. You understand? So in proving or doing something, well, we do this or do that. We developed, we will release a technology for a space. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Then why should I worry and bother about it? First of all,
the people who've been there, they've seen it. It's not connected to electricity. One of the knowledge seekers who's part of the Keshe Foundation says, you're using the magraphs. Can we move them the other way? When you come in, you see when the people tell you that we were told that we go to take a trip to moon. It's not a microphone. I'm standing amongst them. The one in the seat, the one outside, they're all is in an open space. Man has never seen such a technology. So why should I go and clean the CO2s, and why should I go and do blah, blah, and the rest of it? You open institutes to teach and the systems to be done. And even this technology is so obsolete compared to what is to come. I was explaining to our team yesterday, what is our next position? So, FDA, national governments, there is no more border. The problem of the governments or what we call the beauty of unification of the soul of the man and the physicality of the man and life on this planet has started from 6th of June. You understand? So
yes, I understand.
Why do I have to worry? We have to show. I don't need to show. If you have a condition, you go through the system and you go home and the condition is not there, are you going to report it to your doctor? No. We will never know what people will have, what they came in, what they go out with. We don't want to know. I didn't know yesterday till literally close time that one of the people who came to us was blind in one eye and he wanted to see. I said to him, do you know something? You should have told me. I would have set a flight system for you to fly in a different language. And I sat him into the flight system. The same as he sat 2 hours before. And he said, for the first time after 4 years, I have wetness, tear in my eyes. How can this happen? He most probably listening, or the Germans are translating for him. He could feel the sensation in his mouth and his lips, because when you do that, it means I want to speak. I could not even breathe because I'm half complete. I want to see. You understand?
Yes, yes.
Would he report to FDA or to a government that I'm not blind anymore? Or the people who came with other conditions, or people who came just to want to see their family, or as the lady said, I want to see my, would she go and report to anyone? No, we are here to satisfy the soul of the man, not a nation and a government. You understand? Game has changed on 6th of June, and now we have shown it. But with one case, not two. Many of you are coming to Linz.
Because in Poland, I know a couple of people who they made already this spaceship, but it's not exactly the same spaceship. Because
they cannot be.
Yeah,
the knowledge is not there. Copy is plenty of. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking about it because there can't be this before you made this. So I was something around.
We are not claiming anything. We're just delivering a knowledge. The rest of it is with the humans, not with us.
Okay, so that's it with my questions at the moment. I will be.
Yes.
Thank you for your response.
Thank you very much. Where are you from?
I'm now in Denmark, in Copenhagen, but I originally from Poland. So I'm using some devices what was made in Poland, to balance from Keshe technology, but so it's another way made, Is follow the rules, but I just testing now, on myself.
No problem. What we made and what is in Austria, even they take the systems, they cannot copy the system.
Yeah.
Because we know what we do. We develop this over years. We know exactly where it is. You can't even see it.
is possible, for example, to buy one of these
at
machines?
At the moment, it's 100 million euros. If you have 100 million, we talk.
No.
But the Keshe Foundation do it. We make it so high that it's impossible to buy it. It means leave us alone. Let us do our work.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Okay. So thank you for.
You got to understand.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. In 2006-07, Bill Gates was very much on top of the Keshe Foundation. He wanted to take control. He wanted to own the Keshe Foundation. And I told this team in Holland, it's not for sale. Cooperation we do, collaboration we do. Keshe Foundation belongs to humanity. Any other questions? Shall we call it a day?
Maybe you can take one or two more hands up here, Mr. Keshe. Claudia, you'd be next, and then Gatwa after that.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. It's Claudia from Brazil.
Yes, thank you very much for all your hard work, Claudia. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you too so much. I'm very happy to be one of the representatives of Brazil that I go to Linz. I did my registration only yesterday, but I don't know how many days to confirm this, to buy the flights and everything.
Yeah, no problem.
How many days, more or less?
Yeah, no problem. Let us know. We have, you have to understand, we don't do flight tests on Thursdays. We're trying to keep Wednesdays open for development, changing other things. So we are bracketing it to Monday, Tuesday, and a Friday. That we have time, or maybe we change it later on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Fridays for development and the teaching. So,
but after the registration, how many days will be the confirmation?
You receive, if you registered, you receive confirmation. You tell us when you're coming in. Yeah.
Okay, by mail.
By mail, yeah. You just go to the info. We got people now continuously watching, monitoring this channel for people who are registering to tell them when to come and how to go. Mario in the center is responsible for it. And you get response very fast, more or less sometime within there.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be with you.
See you when you come.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Any other question? Can we have the last question before we go?
Sure. Gatwa, can you go ahead, please?
Can I ask you?
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Dr. Gatwa, one question before I forget. Rick, after this session finished, can you post the link on all the channels that people can go to it?
The link for which again?
For today's session.
Oh, for the YouTube and live stream.
Live streams and the rest. Yeah, it's posted on and I pick it up from you and I post it to the rest. Because a lot of people couldn't come, but they don't know it is on. They can go on and listen.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Dr. Gatwa.
Good afternoon, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Thank you very much. I don't have a question. I just want to express my gratitude and thank you very much on behalf of the Keshe African Knowledge team and on my own behalf for releasing this wonderful technology. And we look forward to enjoying this technology in the days ahead. Thank you very much indeed.
Man will have a field day with this.
We love it.
Enjoy this new technology.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good wishes all the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all of you to be here. Thank you very much for all of you to be here. We promised months ago that we meet 6th of June. And by a fraction of half an hour or two, we met on the, what we call the world planet as one nation, still at 7, is what we call it, the 6th of June. And from now on, a new start. And as I always say, you have seen nothing yet. Some of you will come, will bring us a gift of the universe, and some of you will come and bring us the gift of knowledge and understanding. There is something I have to tell you before you start, before you take the journey. Please do not bring any gifts for us in this. Bring your souls, bring the gift of your presence. By security reasons, we cannot accept gifts. And please, if you want to give a gift, donate it to the foundation and put it as a gift for me coming to Linz. But do not bring gifts for me or members of the staff, as we will have to refuse it for security reasons, because we've been betrayed before. And we have seen recently in the past 2 or 3 days, a number of Iranian scientists been killed the same way. My condolences goes to the Iranian nation for the loss of such beautiful souls. But be aware that we are here and we have brought the change. We are not going to bring the change. The change has come. The first 15, by next week, the first 500 and 550, and the week after 100, and so on. And as we increase the numbers, more and more of you come in to go, we try to bring the next step in, bringing with you gifts from different parts of the universe as a representation of where these are. And we get the scientists of the man to decide which planet, where he went, because you don't know where he went, as we heard from 2 or 3 people yesterday. I didn't go to Mars, I don't know where I was, but if you bring water, dust, air of that environment, we can assess where that environment has been, where you actually went. The game changer has changed the game, and now we play a new game of universe. Thank you very much for being here today, and I thank all the Keshe Foundation team, especially those who worked in the factories and the backup of the factories, and the people who helped the whole thing to be ready for the 6th. Many people gave their bank holiday weekend to be working to make sure you can test. Thank you very much to the team of Keshe Foundation Austria, especially Dr. Klaus and Alex and Schwan and the rest who work so hard in the background to make sure this happens. We'll see you tomorrow as a role model teaching, and we'll see what we can teach more to add to the flight system. Thank you very much, Rick, for being there, and see you tomorrow morning.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, once again here. And yes, the reminder that we'll be back on Thursday morning, starting at 9 a.m. Central European Time for the weekly Knowledge Seekers workshop, available at the usual media locations. Yes, I'll also post the links to today's YouTube and live stream, so that people who didn't catch today's workshop will be able to catch it tomorrow. All right, I think that's it for now. And thank you everyone for attending today's wonderful workshop. And we look forward to the next public teaching workshop. I'd like to go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And thanks once again, everyone, for your attention here today.